What's happening?
What's going? Banging my head.
Whatever it looks like, I promise you, I am not doing my homework for this evening's podcast right this second. I promise.
Absolutely not. We would never think you would do that.
Never.
Never.
That's
That's
not my
signature.
As long, I would never expect you to say the dog ate your homework. You know, all that fun stuff.
Yep. Even though mine actually do eat paper, so entirely possible. Actually, it did happen to my daughter. Exactly. The dogs ate her homework one time, legitimately. But I was like, hey, what's with the salt and ketchup on it? Did you tempt these guys to do this? Because she seasoned the homework.
It was the best tasting homework they ever had.
Yes.
Our dog likes
How
eating
have y'all
sandwich.
been?
Not bad week. Got a bit of a crazy week. Now, I was camping all weekend, so my body's recuperating from I was telling Brett from polluting itself for 3 days straight. I need to go on a sabbatical.
Sabbatical. Nice.
Yeah, so
busy.
good time.
Just busy with work, man. You know, and the daughter's starting to travel with sports. So getting prepped for the big Halloween ends here in the next month here. We're within a month.
How
Yeah.
exciting.
3 weeks? Was it, what, 3 weeks, 4 weeks? It's getting there.
Yeah.
It'll be here before we know it, guys. Oh, GK, what's up? Hey, GK, are you joining us in the second hour? If you want to show off your stuff, because the last few
Gabriel, good to see
you
you.
kept saying you were going to pop in. If you want, I can send you a link if you want to pop in hour number 2. By all means, let us know.
Well, it's GK, so he's pimping in. I just
he's
decided
pimping?
to pimp on in. And then the last of my not homework.
I did find that other pass for the H25. I will bring that for you if I see in November, or I will mail it to you.
Oh, gangster.
You're asking about that, so I have the other one.
That's super exciting.
Yeah.
Super duper exciting.
And if anybody's wondering why they're seeing 3 knuckleheads instead of 4 knuckleheads, Big Joe is running a little behind. He had to do something with his daughter. So the Over-Caffeinated Fella will be joining us shortly.
Good.
There's Dickhead.
The old dickhead. Maybe closer than I think.
Awesome. I love that. Dickhead! What's up,
He
man?
actually can hear you from in this room right this second.
Oh, is he over there?
Yeah, he's here. He probably doesn't like being seen on screen because he's very identifiable, we'll say. Especially when you're like 6'6".
Or especially when his pictures are like in the post office and somebody might see him on here.
Gotta protect.
Well, we can blur his face out. Oh, GK. No, yeah, definitely. It's his anniversary. Happy anniversary, brother.
Oh, happy anniversary.
All right.
Enjoy.
Happy
You and the better half.
anniversary.
I did see GK's taking part in the John Carpenter annual comic book store signing they do out in California. He posted something about that.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, yeah. I saw that he was going to be there when the age 40 thing was going on. He was going to be there at that record store the following weekend, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I forget the name of that place, but it's like the biggest record store. Oh, speaking of which, I went last week, and the day before the new Megadeth album came out, they were in Austin, so I was able to go talk to them and get the album the day before it actually came out. And you know who? It was a place called Waterloo Records in Austin. And you know who just popped up in there like 2 days later? Fucking Robert Plant.
Oh,
Yeah.
Robert Plant. Oh,
Could you imagine that?
wow.
Crazy.
I know
wish
Ozzy's been
remembered
doing
that.
He's been doing signings for his album over the last couple of weeks, I think, at places around the country. I keep
Man, if I would have known.
Robert Plant?
Yeah.
Does he got a new album out with Alison Krauss? Because it seems like all he does now is play with her, so to speak.
Yeah. Alison Krauss. Who is that?
She's like she's like a new age type singer. She's not bad, but she seems
Man,
to
we
do a
are
lot of stuff with her.
oozing with Halloween conversation, aren't we?
Yeah, I know. So sorry, guys.
There
We're
is
sharing.
eventually going to be dinosaurs on your dinosaur tour, right?
Come share your feelings with the group.
That's right. So we do have some cool concepts. I saw you guys picked Heather Langenkamp versus Danielle Harris today.
What'd you think of that, Michael?
I thought that was a good match. Yeah,
I
we were
thought
calling-
that's going to be a difficult one. I look
Yes.
forward to discussing it because it could go in either direction.
Difficult meaning good then.
Yeah. Yep. I was just thinking, like, we just want to make sure we got decent lineups leading to like
The final.
the end there, because you don't want to like 86 like some of the big players right in the beginning because you put them against someone who's slightly better.
Well, like you'd figure most of them would have been Nev Campbell versus Jamie Lee Curtis in the finals. We had it in the first.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, we're going to do it like we talked about doing our bracket thing, though. We're going to pick what? We do it for 4 weeks and then take the 2 winners out of the weeks. Am I correct?
Yes.
Actually, the
So,
4 winners, and they can battle against each other till we go back down to number 1.
do you want to
bracket thing.
refresh everybody on what the battles have been thus far? And then I'll just make a little bracket out of it.
Sure. So far, we had Jamie Lee Curtis versus Nev Campbell, and Jamie Lee Curtis came out victorious. Then we had
versus Jennifer Love Hewitt, right?
Jennifer Love Hewitt versus Scout Taylor Compton. And it was a tie, but we gave the edge to Scout Taylor Compton because it's a Halloween podcast. Come on.
It was Scout Taylor Compton and who?
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
If
Jenny
it wasn't
Love.
a Halloween podcast, it would have been Jennifer Love Hewitt, right?
J-Lo Hewitt. Yeah.
J-Lo.
Yeah, so it was a tie, but we gave, the tie went to the Halloween girl.
And then today we're doing Langenkamp and Danielle Harris.
DH.
Langenkamp.
Oh, look at this. Deckhead's throwing it out. Throwing the gauntlet out. Heather versus Danielle. Not a chance.
Whoa.
Nancy all the way.
We're gonna be so
It could
biased.
go either way. I'm telling you, it's going to depend on which direction the waves take us as we start talking about
What's
it.
up
I think.
there, Mr. Windsor? Howdy ho.
Hey, Rob.
Awesome. And we're gonna do our a review of Night of the Creeps. Did you watch Night of the Creeps?
Kinda, yeah. Kinda. If anyone could say they actually watched that movie in real life, because the whole time I'm sitting there going, yeah, this is a movie, all right. So, but I'm looking forward to talking about it. I have a lot to say about it, actually. It was very exciting.
I can't wait to hear you think of that little alien at the beginning, or the two of them.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But then we're also talking, if I'm not mistaken, about our top 5 movie posters.
Yeah.
Top 5 horror movie posters. I figure then we could just do a top 5 like comedy. We could just go down the rabbit hole another night. Brett and I were chatting the other night, and I'm like, why not horror movie posters? Because, I mean, Michael, you've got a ton of posters, so you definitely, I'm sure you could easily pick 5 favorites.
I got some favorites, yeah, for certain reasons. But
And they could be anything. They could be variants. They could be, from
oh, I
different
thought you were
countries.
talking about like movie cover posters.
No,
like,
movie cover posters, but that didn't necessarily mean just U.S. ones.
Oh,
Like,
got
you know how, like,
So we're
certain
not
countries
talking
have
about, like,
cooler
Mondo
ones?
posters and shit
No,
like
not
that.
the Mondo ones. No,
Okay.
because that's. I mean, we could always do something like that down the road. That's fine.
Well, that's
but
a different can of worms because those are uber cool.
exactly. That's
the
tough.
original promotional poster. That's how I went off of whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, but if you saw one like, I never really specified if it had to be only U.S. releases. Unless we could just keep U.S. releases and make a foreign one for a different, somewhere down the line.
All right.
If you guys
so
just
the
did U.S.
great
releases.
The great Rob Windsor mystery is we're getting more clues here. So he says he sees Night of the Creeps every night at work. So we could think of where would you see that if you worked? Where would he work? And then we can start to narrow it down and find him ourselves, like private investigators.
We'll just show up one day. Like, look,
Is that
it's
a
us.
Bordello? No.
Maybe he works from home and just happens to play that every day. Then we're back to square one.
It is this mystery. So, you want to jump in and see what's going on over at Michael's Horror and Pinball? See if there's anything new, interesting, and fun. You got?
Hey, did
Ready
we
for
grab
that?
that yellow bag out the car?
Well,
No. So can we hold it until they get back? They went to pick something up, and then he owns his own restaurant. It must be a cool place too if he's got Night of the Creeps on the damn TV at night.
Oh, that's right. He did say that. I forgot. He mentioned once before the restaurant. Yeah, that's.
Man, that's what I got my degrees in: culinary arts, restaurant management, business administration, all that jazz. And I fix hail damaged vehicles and have horror toys.
There you go. That makes sense. It's all affiliated.
You see a lot of the personalities in the restaurants. You know that.
Oh
All
man,
the
the restaurants. I miss the benefits if I'm working at restaurants because there's a very social benefit to working in restaurants. It's just Flirt Fest 2022 every day.
Michael. Speaking of that, if you studied in that, what do you think of the movie Waiting? Do you like Waiting?
That
Ryan
is
Reynolds?
a staple in the world because
Yeah.
there's so many things. Like when the manager goes to jump in and help, and the crew is like, "Would you get the fuck out of the way?" Like you just get in the way. That kind of stuff happens in real life every day,
Somebody coming in
everywhere.
5 minutes before close, right?
Yep, those LMAs we call them, last minute assholes.
My son used to say it because my son, when he comes home, he works at a restaurant near town, and so he always said, he's like, as soon as somebody walks in like 5 minutes before they close, like he's like, we'd be holding everybody back from going over there and fucking strangling. I'm like, get the fuck out.
Yeah, it sucks, but at the same time, that's not fair because you got to close at some point,
Right.
and people just have it in their head that they want to hurry up and get out. And I get it, but at the same time, like there's got to be a specific time where people can come in until this moment, and that should be when you close. So
Yeah,
as long as they get in the door, you should serve them just like they came in the middle of the day.
Well, like last service at 11:30, but we close our doors, lock our doors at 12 or something like that. Don't some places do that, right?
Right. Well, it's about cleaning the kitchen and not wanting to dirty it up again because it takes another half hour to get it back to where you were.
Yeah, last thing you want is the food inspectors involved with that. My brother did that he did do it for a living a bit, so that whole process.
But while we wait for the mysterious yellow bag, Brett could show or whatever anything we got, and then we'll just circle around
Hell yeah.
back to Mr. Mike. So I wasn't expecting even to get anything this week, but easy stuff fell in my hands. Like everybody saw, everybody was posting the very affordable hat at Walmart.
Part 6?
Yeah.
All right.
For
Is there an H2O one like that where he's stabbing down, right? That's one too, right? Looks just like that.
Let me hit that.
at Walmart? Did they have it at Walmart?
No, I saw it at Horror Hound last week, but it had like that Elite sticker like that on there.
And
On
while
the
I was
bill.
there, also picked
Anyway.
up the ones with the new slip covers. The
Oh, yeah,
two
you
Rob
got it.
Zombies with the new slip covers.
At
Like-
that at that favorite Walmart you were talking about. Wink, wink.
Which at the good Walmart, yeah, not the shitty one that's by my house.
Did you get the orange
They're
ones
nice.
too?
Shit, I already had those. Yeah,
I noticed that when I brought them back. That
It
wait
was
a
the same
minute.
as last year. It was the same as last year.
So what were
Yes.
the green ones? 2 years ago then? The green
It was
ones
like 2
were
years. It was 2 years ago. Yeah, the green ones. Michael's favorite. I got the little silver shamrock tobacco trading card from Jack's Attic. Shout out to Jack's Attic, and Brett
put
got
those-
his as well.
back here. Yeah.
Those are always very cool.
Man.
I stopped at Party City just to see if there was anything interesting, and I didn't get this last year because they sold out, and it absolutely breaks my heart because my dog is no longer, and I got the dog costume. I would have loved to put him in this. It would have been hysterical, but unfortunately, no more. Oh, and then I saw people posting that they got those Silver Shamrock mini masks. I didn't get them yet, but I did get my.
Right?
Yeah, but I got a new shirt. That came.
That's what I look like when I tried watching that movie.
And let's see. Here he is.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Stabby Halloween. Fascinating.
Yes, the Stabby Halloween from Walmart.
I have my little buddy air blowing guy I got to put in my passenger seat for tomorrow.
You're what?
I know it.
Got to air blow your buddy tomorrow? Uh-oh.
Air blow the buddy tomorrow.
Podcast just changed.
Yeah.
I believe that is, and that was this week. That would be my pickups.
Man, I should with the time of year since Spirit Halloween opened or whatever. Hold on, let me go let them in real quick. The door's locked.
Do you know if Michael sells these?
I'm not sure. I've never seen him show them. I don't think so.
Well, yeah, I didn't show too much of the stuff in Horror Hound last week, but Yeah, these were only like $8 with Trick
They're
or Treat
cheap.
Studios.
Yeah, they're cool as hell, and they've always been cheap, which is nice.
Yeah.
Ends mask. I didn't even order the ends mask yet. I gotta get around to that.
While he's going, I don't know if you get. I got the Fog Steelbook. I don't
That
have.
is nice.
I don't have the Stevie Wayne figure yet. It's heavily back ordered, or it's not complete in production, I guess.
Yeah.
But here was the poster that came with it too.
Oh, that is friggin' awesome. I
Isn't that
love the
pretty cool?
fog. But yeah, if I believe me, I felt like hell not to buy all that stuff because if I buy enough Halloween stuff, I'm like, I can't start doing that shit. But I
Yeah.
love the fog.
It's fit for the Carpenter theme. Michael, do you sell these in your stores?
Yes, I have those. I've got.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Ones, the Universal Monster ones. Actually, I think you can see them right down there.
There you go. Yeah, down
Okay,
bottom.
so you got those two. Okay.
Well, I think all of them are there. They're just behind each other. There's part.
So
4.
you got 4 or H3 or H4?
Yep, I got part 4, part 3. I got both the sizes too, because they came in the skinnier one and the wider one.
Oh. I'll have to DM you about those.
There you go.
And the Universal Monsters, which don't sell like I thought. Universal Monster stuff. I don't think I've sold anything of what I bought of that.
You know, there's a lot of
world.
Yeah, it is. There's some hardcore collectors, but there are far and few between. Actually, is that Big Joe a big Universal Monster guy?
He is.
Yes,
Yeah.
he is. And
Yeah.
he keeps buying stuff that I'm trying to sell. I'm like, ugh. I wish I could coordinate with Joe a little better on that.
Ooh,
stuff.
they live. Who signed it?
David signed this at Whorehound last week. This is the Shop
awesome.
Factory NECA exclusive. So.
Uber cool.
Yeah.
Well, they did show up. Once you guys are done, I got some stuff. I'm looking forward to showing these.
Cool.
I wanted to last week.
That's all I got. It was a slow week, thank God.
Good pickup, Rob. Good pickup, Rob.
The
Yeah,
wife
exactly.
says it's a slow week. Thank God. It sounded like somebody was talking through you just then. That didn't sound like you, my friend.
No.
So you have the mysterious yellow bag. We can get going.
Yes.
Uno momento. What's new at Michael's Horror and Pinball?
At Michael's Horror and Pinball.
Michael's Horror and Pinball.
So these are next level cool, right?
Oh, those are those glasses you got last week.
Yes. Okay. And these are the ones that I took home. I didn't have with me to show off. But what's cool about them is they change colors. The writing does. When there's actually, well, there's not really much going on here. Let me get this going here real quick. Try to do a better demonstration.
Yeah, you got a full pour.
Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na,
Now,
na.
does each glass change to a different color, or it's just like one specific color?
Like this one is the only one I've done so far.
Okay.
But this one changes to black.
Oh, very cool.
As you can see, I'll do this without spilling it here.
Awesome.
She was pretty talented, that artist there, when you had her on camera there.
What's that?
The artist that you bought those from, she had a lot of stuff. She looked pretty talented.
Yes. And they can make custom stuff too. And she said, I made her promise me that if I bought this one specifically, which was the last one of this she had, I made her promise me she would never make any more, and she promised. So, and it was on camera, so she has to live up to that too.
That's why Moody was upset.
Yeah.
But no, and then I got another one here. And I should have tried the ones that, and I wasn't sure. It was the Boogeyman, which is a classic line we've debated before.
Mm-hmm. Very nice. Awesome
So
work.
cool, right?
So that's all etched, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
That's awesome.
And then one more of those.
Very cool.
Yep.
He came.
Now these are just really unique and cool, but
And almost empty.
yeah, there goes that one. But this is what I really wanted to show. Those you.
Excuse me.
Soon to
pardon.
be Michael's Horror and Pinball staple in the exclusivity world. Well, she has them a few places, but I struck a deal with my good pal Miss Eileen Dietz, and we were going to start carrying these permanently.
Captain Howdy split pea. Wow, that's very
Captain
cool.
Howdy's split pea soup. She, of course, autographed it. This one over to me in April.
So just like the Friday the 13th 5 soup, or well, that was stew.
Yeah.
Slop. The slop.
Flop.
Yep. Let me show that too. Just a nice refresh on that because that thing is uber cool. I love.
Yeah, that is definitely cool. If I collected
That
Friday
is an
13th stuff, I'd have to have
exclusive,
that.
according to Mr. Ron Sloan. I'm the only one that has them for sale anywhere.
That has sentimental value to me, Michael, because that's when I first met you in person.
Yes. Said
There it is.
those are the good days, my friend, the good days. Little did we know how far we would come from there. But yeah, look, Ma Hubbard's fucking slop.
That's
Signed
awesome.
by Mr. Ron Sloan and Miss Carol Locatell. Of course, the absolute stars of the show in Friday the 13th Part 5. My favorito movie in that franchise. Which I may be the only person walking the earth that says that out loud, but it's true. I promise you, it's not trying to be cool like people who pretend Halloween 3 are cool. It is literally, actually, a good movie. Unlike others.
In all fairness to you, Michael, that it's really gained popularity over the last few years, though.
It really has. It really
What?
has.
Friday the 13th
Part
5.
5.
It's really gained popularity.
It is.
More
Dickhead!
Dickhead is. Look at that. Go throw something at him. He's in earshot, right?
I go smack him around for a minute.
I like how the mask was different with the light blue. I thought that was kind of cool on the mask. But
The mask with the blue, yeah. And then, so it kind of was letting you know it's not Jason the whole time. Even the cover of the movie has some random ass what the hell mask on the cover.
Right.
But
Got my favorite
such a
tater
great
tot
movie.
scene.
And then Miss Eileen Dietz just started grabbing photos left and right and was just signing them over and giving them to me all over the place.
now I gotta
picked
take
this
back
up. I'm not even sure who this is or what it is, but here it
Blair
is.
Witch. That's Blair Witch.
That's
Now-
Blair Witch. That's correct. Yep.
Who is this guy? Is he important?
It's one of the three in the
One
movie.
of the three guys, people in the movie.
Man, I did a spoof of that called the Fat Bitch Project one time, which I'm sure
Wasn't
a
he-
lot of people did.
Wasn't
But
he the
I
guy at
did
the
it
end
now.
staring at the wall?
I think
No.
so.
The classic, the whole movie I wanted to make based off of how I wanted it to end, because you remember how it ended, like you said. Only in my version, there's like a fight for the camera, and then it just falls to the ground, and it faces my brother taking a shit in the woods.
His pants way down.
Oh man. Which reminded me, we talked a lot about doing some comedy in here sometimes, and I love the hell out of that idea, that Mystery Science Theater idea, where we do that on YouTube and just watch along with the movie.
We can do something like that. We can create a little thing and just do like a watch long where we just rip the shit out of a movie.
Yes.
Yeah, Michael,
I'm all for
I grew up
that.
watching that like you did. I think you're a bigger fan than I am on it, but Mystery Science Theater is awesome.
Good stuff.
Riff tracks too. Did you ever take that info, Putring, and do the Halloween riff tracks?
I still haven't had, did you send it to me again? I asked you to send it to me again. I didn't get it again because I can't
I'll
find
do
it.
that again here in a minute then.
Yeah,
But
definitely
yeah.
send it to me because I could definitely check it out this week.
They did one on Halloween.
Yes, and that's what's great about it. They're able to do these movies that you can't get rights to do. And the way they do it is it's called Riff Tracks. It's like a app you can get on your phone. And what happens is you watch the movie and it lines you up. It says press play at this certain spot of the credits. And then when you do, it's just their audible tracks while you watch the movie. So they can do any movie. So like Chris Nelson and Mike Nelson. Chris Nelson is now the new Nelson, I know. But Mike Nelson from Mystery Science Theater, him and Weird Al did Jurassic Park. Like it is the most. It's hilarious. It's the funny shit. Which I'm getting more and more pumped because in the beginning of the first week of October, I get to go meet Mr. Weird Al. I get
That's
him to
right.
sign my Halloween poster.
Dude, that's awesome.
I told my son my son is very jealous. I told you how much he loves Weird Al. I told myself, oh, Michael's going to meet him, do a meet and greet. He's like, oh man, that sucks. I want to do that.
Weird Al rules. He is just a gangster.
Did that biopic with Harry Potter playing him come out already? I haven't watched or heard about it or anything.
I haven't seen that yet. I saw the commercial for it, and I'm like super geeked for it to come out, but I haven't heard another thing about it either.
On Weird Al?
Yeah.
I didn't hear that. Oh, that's awesome. I got to go check that out.
The biofilm, yeah. I think it's out on one of the streaming things. But.
Oh, I got to check that out. Definitely check that out. And who's playing him? The kid from Harry
Potter?
Yes.
Who?
Radcliffe, Daniel Radcliffe, Harry Potter.
He's playing Weird Al.
Yeah.
I don't see that. Is it me or I don't see that?
Oh, it looks pretty good.
Does
if you see the trailer, yeah.
I guess if they do his hair or they do the wig and everything, I guess, they're going to have to fro. But
you gotta love me some UHF though.
All you really need to do is a white skinny dweeb, and that's
you get to drink from the fire hose. Stanley Spadowski's Clubhouse.
Oh, how I love Alfred Yankovic.
Yes, great movie. So we have tons of stuff we can get into, guys. We got so our rundown for this episode is we have our Scream Queen showdown between Heather Langenkamp and one Miss Danielle Harris from the Halloween franchise, all you boys out there. And movie review of Night of the Creeps. Our top 5 horror movie posters, which should be very interesting. I also brought up, I was going to show, just in case people weren't aware, because a couple people, when I had posted some of the links on Halloween Ends, all the different friggin' 8,000 different vinyls and shit that they were showing.
Vinyl. It's vinyl.
It's vinyl. I got the variants up, and I can actually show them and go through them in case anybody missed anything.
Well, yeah, but I heard
we'll do that later.
Spoilers in the song titles.
To a degree, the only spoiler I saw was there was pretty much one spoiler.
La 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 la.
I won't say, but if you read the titles, there's one definite spoiler, which you kind of figure was going to happen anyway. But
I got to tell you, I've been doing a great job this year. I have been avoiding Halloween Ends related stuff like the plague.
They've been much smarter with the promotional stuff, Michael.
Much smarter.
Much
well,
smarter.
I've still been avoiding it because even when when you see the movie, you're like, yeah, that's what I thought would happen, even though you're probably full of shit. But it just still ruins it no matter what for me. And I'm trying to avoid it as best as possible. Because, you remember like the bathroom scene in 2018, you knew that was coming long before the movie came out. And you're like, I wish I didn't know that. And you just see all these spoilers. And I did happen to accidentally come across everybody showing that picture of or when Michael Myers opens the door, it looks like, and Jamie Lee Curtis is on the other side of it, and he's got all his fingers. So now all of a sudden everybody's talking about like a copycat killer and shit. It's like, man, I don't want to know that shit.
I think, they showed all the firefighter stuff and kills in the trailer. I think that really kind of doomed a lot for people.
Dickhead called it. That was the
right there.
Spoiler.
I was just about to say when you said about the teeth, I was about to say the same thing Dickhead just said. That was the biggest spoiler. When I saw that, I'm like, seriously? Why did you do that? You could have showed her opening the door and going, but just don't show who it is. Yeah. Even if you had to, if you really wanted to. But then again, you got to look at it this way. And plenty of people have said this over and over again. When they were marketing 2018 and Halloween Kills and even this, they're not giving a flying fuck about the Halloween fans because they know your ass is going to be in the seat. They're trying to entice people that aren't geeks like us. That say, oh, I haven't seen it. Well, I'll go check that out. That looks cool. Like me, we're all pissed and up in arms. You're fucking spoiling everything. But they're not. They know they got our money.
They got our money. Yeah.
So that's pretty much it. But they definitely did a better job this time.
Now, let me ask you this. This is a unique situation to bring this up. I put another notch in my belt that doesn't even need more notches in this subject. But what if they did another Halloween 3? How pumped would you guys be if you saw a new Halloween movie was coming out and it turned out to be like a sequel to Halloween 3?
It's been talked about, prequels.
It's been talked about, yeah.
Yeah. I think
And
Blumhouse is really trying to. I wouldn't be surprised if they're trying to get that handled.
Yeah.
that's
That's what they were trying to convince him to do.
If anyone out there is listening, which one of our 8 people has to be important, I'm sure. And don't do it. Don't do it.
Ain't gonna do it.
Even the dickhead understands that. Don't do that.
The dickhead has spoken.
Thus saith the dickhead.
Okay.
I think just coming to the reality, though, they're going to have a break for a few years, I think.
You know what is? Nothing's going to happen next year because next year is going to be Friday the 13th.
Hell yeah.
They're not going to try to compete the
pumped
two. It's smart enough. Next year, I think the only thing from a classic franchise you're going to see next year is Friday the 13th because nobody else is going to want to step on their toes and because they want everything for themselves. So maybe the following year we'll finally get a fucking Freddy movie or something like that because, they're being smart about it. If you just throw too much at everybody, you're splitting the pie and they don't want to share the pie.
Let's give it some time and give it a few years for somebody to come up with something creative.
Give it a few years so we can, give our bank accounts a fucking break too, man.
Well,
with all the shit coming out. Come on.
Well, hopefully with Nightmare on Elm Street, they do it sooner than later because the only thing that would be cool is if they get Robert Englund back and they're running out of time to make that really
They're on a
work.
timetable. They're on a time. God bless him. He's in great shape, but come on.
Do you see Kevin Bacon's been they've been squandering him the last few years, and now he finally commented about Robert Englund even promoted. He's like, hey, he'd be a good guy to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Kevin Bacon's starting to get up there, too. I mean, he's got to be in his, mid-60s? Which
Yeah,
is not old by no means, and he's in great shape. But if you're going to drag it out for another 5-6 years, you got to push him into his 70s.
Well, I think a lot of it with Robert Englund was just the time of makeup and everything, all the hours it took. And I think they got methods now to where the makeup might not be as bad. I could be wrong. It might not take
yeah,
long.
you got to sit there for hours and have all that shit painted on, man. I couldn't do it. I give them all the credit in the world, man. That's every single day, too. You sit there for hours. I mean, that's
Well,
some rough shit.
yeah, but until you remember how much these people make to do these things. Because, I would pretty much do anything for 6 months straight if I made the money they did to do it. So, just saying.
He's probably a quarter of the budget on those films. Wouldn't you think so, Michael? Right? He's got to be a quarter of the budget.
Oh, at least. But that's rightfully so. Because, I mean, it's not like Michael Myers where essentially anyone can put on a mask. It's Robert Englund, and he is Freddy. Even if you remember correctly, we're diving into the Halloween stuff more and more every minute of this one. But they even when they talked about it, Freddy was not going to be a talking character until Robert Englund busted in for his audition and jumped on the table and started talking.
Right.
So they wrote the movie and that around the fact that Robert Englund changed everything. That is him. That is not that dude, Jackie Earl Haley or whatever from Bad News Bears. That is Robert Englund's character.
It is.
Rob Windsor, I know where you're going with that. That's true. That was in that commercial. So if you didn't see the commercial,
showed
Michael,
in TV the best kill of the movie for Halloween Ends.
Yeah, they showed something.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it.
I'm not going to say it because I'm going to spoil it. I'm not going to spoil it for you. Yep.
Thank you.
Some people want Kevin Bacon to play Freddy. I don't. You know what? Kevin Bacon is still, let's face it, Nightmare on Elm Street's not an A-list movie. Kevin Bacon still is pretty much an A-list actor. He does do a lot of shit. You don't have to do that. Unless they throw gobs of money at him.
Somebody else do it besides Robert Englund. It just.
Right.
Yeah, but he even went doing talk shows about how he was going to be like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo and shit, too. It just never materializes. I think he's like the guy that they use to make rumors get started about shit, and then they use someone else.
Well, like they said, was it 7 Degrees of Kevin Bacon? It's a fucking game, for Christ's sake.
Oh, that's right. Where you could turn everything into Kevin Bacon.
Yep.
That's right. I can't say I've actually done that in real life, but it does sound fun. All right, let's check another cup here and see if it turns on. Because some of these supposedly turn orange and not black. So let's check that out.
Orange is the new black.
Orange.
Where do you guys want to start? Do you guys want to start with the Showdown, movie review, top 5 movie posters? Whatever you guys want.
That's
orange. It is orange. That
this
is cool.
Orange.
That's very cool.
That's
wow,
awesome.
she should really make those more. Those are cool. It's like remember the mug that came out a few years ago, the heat changing mug?
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love
The
that
coffee
thing.
mug, the coffee mug one was awesome. Yeah.
I should take that on scout trips, and it used to freak the one lady scout leader out. And I'd always turn it so it would face her. She'd be like, "Pat, can you please turn the mug around?" She's like, "It's gonna give me
Wow.
nightmares."
How cool is that?
So, boys, what do you want to do? Let's dive into some of this. You guys want to do
Mr.
movie
93,
posters?
I'm open.
Movies can probably go pretty quick. Top
What?
5. I got my list here. You want to do top 5 movie posters? Horror movie posters.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I am
Yeah,
dying to hear what you guys say because immediately when I thought about it, it's like the 5 popped into my head immediately.
Yep.
So I'm kind of curious if it's a biased opinion or if I'm right and people agree. I think my number 1, if you really think about it, should be everyone's number 1, in my opinion. But let's see what happens.
I came up with 5 off the top of my head based on ones that are like favorites. Didn't want to get too deep. So without it being cliche, because I'm the Halloween guy, number 5 is the original Halloween movie poster because that's been so special to me.
Okay.
That's right. Pretty shocking. Because I said favorite, meaning just because they look cool and they meant a lot to me. Or there was a reason why, I was like, wow, how cool is that? And I'll explain the reasons why. Well, Halloween is a no-brainer. That's why we're fucking here. And I've always loved it. It was cool. Then you always have the mystery. Everybody says that there's the face and the hand and all that shit, which they pretty much have said that the guy who did it said that is absolutely not what I was trying to do. Even though it does resemble the girl in Black Christmas in the freaking rocking chair.
What's his name? Bob Gleason?
Yeah.
Bob Gleason, the artist?
Yeah, and he said, he's like, I didn't
that
plan
one
it
back
that way.
there? Do you see the one my hand? On. Oh, shit. My left from right.
Get your hand.
There you go. That one.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did that poster, too. He signed it, too.
Oh, did he?
But you
Nice.
know what? He's somebody that I need to get on my poster, that Halloween poster with all the signatures. Bob
I
Gleason.
can get him on mine, too, right here. I can get him on mine, too.
He doesn't go around, though, does he? Or does he?
He has an art studio somewhere. And you can go pretty much see him any day of the week. He works his own art studio, and
where?
Yeah, I want to say it's in the Midwest, like over there by Ohio, Illinois, kind of thing, if I remember correctly. But I could look it up. But yeah, he's easy to get a hold of in his hometown, so that would work. Man, what happened? Did the air turn off? It got quiet as a motherfucker in here.
I just saw somebody right next to Michael behind your left arm go back behind somewhere. Yep, there's somebody back there.
Wait, what?
Your left, look over your left shoulder. There's somebody next to the Michael man again.
His art studio is in Portland, Oregon.
There is.
I'm like, there's somebody back there.
Setting up cameras.
Portland, Oregon. Sorry.
Oregon, yeah, the other side of the country. I couldn't have been more wrong, matter of fact.
I know. I never knew that either. I was like, man, that's cool.
Oh, speaking of which, you know what's kind of exciting? We're talking about if you guys come out, which hopefully the plans do work out, and you can make it out to the wedding that Tony Moran's doing in November. We're looking to rent out all the cabins at the gas station from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre that weekend. And then we could just have full run of the place.
I'm up for that. Wow. Is that where the reception's going to be?
Well, the reception is pretty much, my life is one big party. So I don't need to pick a place. It's just wherever I happen to be at that minute is the party always. So, but no, I think it would be cool. I mean, I envision, it's not necessarily a plan as much as it is like envisioning like, oh my God, I couldn't imagine having a more fun day than having you and Joe and Brett, everybody just at those cabins. Cause there's like 5 little cabins right there. We rent out all of them. They got a campfire right there. You can grill, it's a big yard. You can do this and this. You shop in the gas station. You can watch the movies. As a matter of fact, Roy has told me on many occasions that if I wanted to set something up out there, he would play the movie on this little big projector they have in the middle of the field. So he could set it up to where we just watch the movie sitting in the yard where it all happens.
I'm game.
So it's uber cool. But before that, an hour and a half west in Kingsland, they have the house from the original movie where they turned into a restaurant, Grand Central Cafe. and you hit that up, and then you get some lunch there at about noon, 1 o'clock, and then you drive over to Bastrop where the gas station is, and you just stay there from that point forward. Oh, most fun in the world. And plus, you all know I'm a pinball guy, so the biggest pinball arcade in the state of Texas is in between those two shops as well.
Ooh.
So, like, the Pinball's Arcade in Austin, they have, like, oh, man, like every machine you can think of is in there. They got the Freddy machine. They got Tales from the Crypt. Any machine you could think of, they have there.
What's the first machine
Cool.
you would want to get that you don't have in your collection?
That I don't have currently or I've never had?
Well, one that you would want right away if you could.
Tales from the Crypt, I've had 2 of those, and what it is it's so much fun, but it's easy to beat. There's a lot to it, but then you beat it, and then you're like, eh. So it's usually the first one to go when you need a couple of bucks. So I sold it a couple of times, and that's the one I want back, like, right away.
Can I tell you one that's completely random that I would want? I would want the Demolition Man one.
That is a fun machine, too.
Yeah.
That is a really fun machine.
Leslie Snipes. Oh, man. Love
I do miss the Simpsons Pinball Party. That's the most dynamic pinball machine ever made, still to this day. With all the shit you got to do to beat it. It's the hardest machine to beat.
Is it Terminator 2 pretty hard, too? I think Terminator 2 is pretty hard, right?
Well, all pinball machines are hard to beat if you think of the odds of, like, the ball never going south on you. And it takes, each one of these machines, depending on the machine, takes an average of 45 minutes to an hour to beat. So, I mean, you got to keep 3 balls going that long. It's not easy.
Yeah, 15 minutes is long enough. It's like...
I beat all the machines I've ever owned except the Halloween machine I haven't beat yet because I've done everything, and usually that's good enough to get to, like, the last level that they have, the special level on the machine when you've done everything. But in the Halloween machine, I was like, yes, all I got to do is play this last game, and I'm done. And then you find out that not only did you have to play all the games, the little side games inside the machine, you have to beat all of them, too. So you can't just play them. You have to beat all of them in order to get the Boogeyman multi-ball. So cool. That one I still haven't beat, but that is like my and it's a lot like when a new album comes out or something like that, I just stop listening to everything but that and just do that until I'm burned out on it. Halloween's like the only pinball machine I've been playing since I got it. Like, I'm obsessed with it. It is the most fun you have. And when you guys get here, you play it if you haven't played it already.
I haven't.
And spend some time with it. It is a blast. I love that machine a lot. It feels good. It's got a different rhythm than most pinball machines. It is a fun machine. But I can go on and on. What are we talking about? Posters or some shit?
Yep. Sorry.
Posters.
Telling you the Demolition Man thing.
My number 5, the original Halloween poster. Now it's you.
All right. Oh, shit.
I'm actually getting good at this now.
Elliot.
Phone home.
Elliot.
Oh, we gotta start looking around like the Brady Bunch kids. Like looking down at Brett.
Here's the story.
I'm looking at Michael. I'm looking at Michael.
Patrick. And Patrick Ring and Mike was doing a podcast. All of them wondered, where's Joe? He is lacking. He needs to get off his ass. Oh, it rhymed. That's my Detroit roots coming out. My Slim Shady freestyle.
Good Lord, Detroit.
My number 5 poster is not the most exciting poster to look at unless you're reading all the movie titles inside of the skull, is Terror in the Isles.
Very cool. Yes, I didn't even think of that. That's right. Yeah.
Yep. It's a unique. I got it sitting right over there. That one's on display. Here, let me see if I can.
Because you can sit there and read all the movies that they're discussing in the documentary.
I don't know if you can see it, but it's right above that little roof of the pinball machines on the far right.
The far right, yeah.
Yeah, but Terror in the Isles. That makes my top 5 on all these lists, it seems like. I love the hell out of that movie. What the hell?
I don't know. We're getting dizzy, though.
Sorry.
It's like...
Number 5 here, which surprised me when I first saw it. It was Rob Zombie's Halloween 2007. There's so much going on in that poster. Horribly
so
underrated.
much.
And from well, Michael, you understand with being an autograph person, anybody that's in the movie is on the poster, so it's easy.
Yes,
To nice
and
autograph.
I'm looking up at it right now. You still see shit you've never
Yes.
seen before
Yeah.
every fucking time you look at it.
That was on my short list. Yep, and I was like, oh,
The
didn't
mask
make it,
is
though.
there. You got the abstract of it from an overall standpoint. That was a good start to that movie, the promotional stuff. So yeah,
Yes,
that's my number
absolutely.
Nice. I
My
love
number
it.
2, 1979, the original Evil Dead.
5. Oh,
Interesting.
With the arm, they're coming out of the ground. When I first saw that, I was like, wow, I gotta go see this fucking movie. And if those who haven't seen the original Evil Dead, go watch it. That is such a fun movie to watch.
Mr. Rob Windsor. I have played Dead by Daylight. It's actually fun. It's just when I get a group together to play those type of games, I'm always looking to do Friday the 13th. Because Friday the 13th is the most fun in the world to play. But Dead by Daylight's fun. It's just, it's unfair. Because if you're not a warrior amazing at it, you got no chance in hell of playing with people. Because people would just slaughter your ass in 5 seconds. And it's not fun.
now is
You
that
have
the
to get
newer-
real good.
Is that the newer Evil Dead game? Because I had the one that was on the Sega Dreamcast like 20 years ago.
No, Dead by Daylight. Yeah, I'm assuming we're talking about the same Dead by Daylight where you can be Michael Myers and all this other stuff.
That's the newer one. Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
there's Dickhead's throwing his list in there, which is good. Friday the 13th remake. I didn't even think of that. That actually is a cool poster.
Oh, okay.
Halloween remake, Nightmare 84, The Thing, and Chainsaw Massacre.
You know,
Those are classics.
Classics on that list, yeah.
nice.
Mine.
My number 2 in descending or ascending order, rather, is the original Psycho poster. It has a very like newspaper ad looking vibe to it, and I love that poster. So I put Psycho, the original Psycho.
Nice. Number 4. It goes back to just one of the first ones I ever saw. Not Creepshow 1, but Creepshow 2. I just love the creepy looking in the aisle, just looking down. Another one I got a few signatures on. I love the coloring of it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That's my number 4. Oh,
Great movie.
were you saying did you want me to say Creepshow 1, Michael, or no?
no, Creepshow 2 is beautiful. I was looking back here because but it's actually my bedroom because I don't have it at the shop. It's one of the posters I want to look at all the time. But I have this awesome ass Mondo Creepshow 2 poster. I have to send you a picture of it when I get back to the house.
Mondo did one?
So
Wow, I didn't know that.
Cool.
Yeah, mine. I got the poster, the original one. I had the director sign it at Horror Hound in March, and makeup guy Savini sign it.
Yes. How
Signature
cool.
sign.
I would love to have that poster signed, but I don't think about it because I'm always like, I always miss. Oh my God, I forgot this guy was in Halloween, and I fucking always forget to bring this or this to when it comes to those because I got, like those 11 by 17 Halloween posters for 18 and kills and shit like that. Like, I got a little side thing going with each of these individual movies, and I always forget to take them to these people to get signed. So, plus if people like us, I'm sure you look at it, a lineup of people going to a convention, and you think, oh my God, if I took everything I wanted to get signed, A, it wouldn't fit in the plane, or B, it would cost $75,000 to get everything I want signed.
I had to pick and choose last week. It was rough, but I made it happen.
Yeah. But what are you going to do?
All
right, Mr. Petring, what's your, we'll call it, it's number 3 in either direction.
Number 3. My number 3 is, of course, I went back to the Halloween franchise. It's Halloween. No, I'm kidding. Halloween 4.
You're hilarious.
See,
notice that awesome, exciting poster from Halloween 3 where there's like 3 stupid little shadows. It's all stupid.
Notice I put Halloween 4 higher than the original because the Halloween 4 poster, awesome. Mask is beautiful. The Wallace house in the background. It doesn't get any better than that.
Oh, Jennifer Fox and, Megan Fox and Jennifer's Body.
Oh, she's so hot.
Oh, is that the one where
my daughter gets it?
She burns her tongue. Great movie.
Hey, Rob, if you play the Friday the 13th game, man, you got it. We'll have to exchange information so I can get your tag so that we can play it because it is. I love playing the Friday the 13th game. I do it all the time. We were just doing it on the projector in the shop a couple of days ago. That is fun.
So you've been playing recently. I was going to ask you. I got to get back into it.
Do you do it for? That's not cross-platform, is it?
Oh, it's not? Oh, man. I had it on PlayStation 4, and I have it on Game...
Yes! That's all that matters. I got a PS4. That's where I play it. You got to message me your tag so that we can hook that up right away because I love the fuck out of that game.
It's very good. Yeah. And it's not that hard to play once you get used to it, too.
Good catch.
Very nice.
According to my doctor, I catch everything. I kill me. All right, so my number 3 appears on every top 5 list I have, and this one is no different. The Great Trick or Treat with Sammy Kerr playing the damn guitar.
Mm-hmm.
I love that post. When eBay first came out, and I had this will date me pretty well. I had Web TV. If y'all remember that shit.
Web TV, yeah.
Little fucking PlayStation looking thing that put you on the internet. It took like 20 minutes to load up. But when I got eBay, that was the first shit I went for was the Trick or Treat poster. And you remember that Barbie looking Freddy Krueger doll that they had?
Yep. Oh,
it was like a Ken doll with all the Freddy stuff. Oh yeah, so those were the 2 things I looked for immediately when I figured out you can look for anything.
Very cool.
But Trick or Treat, 100%.
Trick or Treat.
You got Brady.
Number 3, another one of my favorites, Fright Night, the very first Fright Night.
Oh, I forgot.
With the vampire over it in the cloud, the coloring with the house, it's cream of the crop for me. I'd love that. Has he got it?
He probably has
I
it.
have an 11 by 17 of it.
Well, he's a big fan of the movie.
Weird though, because whoever made it.
And for those, go back, and I will put a link up here for our podcast after the fact for when we did our review of Fright Night.
Look how cool is that. But look how weird this poster is. It says part 2, and it's clearly part 1.
Well, I think part 2 looks like that because it's a tower, though, Michael. So
right.
You should have Tommy Lee Wallace sign that if you see him again.
Yeah.
Oh, see that? No kidding. Yes, but that
the second one that has its moments.
It wasn't bad.
I thought that's the one with the girls, right?
Yeah, and the vampires all go bowling, throwing themselves down the lanes.
Now, this is going to be as politically incorrect to the 4 people watching. I apologize, but
Are we down to 4? Oh no!
It's vampires. It ain't fucking Thanksgiving dinner. Like we don't want females in this situation. Like. It's not a delicious feast. It's a fucking horror movie.
There
I thought this was America.
America.
Fuck yeah.
All right, my number 2.
We'll get your number 2. I'm grabbing something.
Uh-oh, what are you grabbing? You're scaring me.
A drink.
This is I was going to say, this is children friendly here. Don't be grabbing things. So, my number 2 is what people always say was their scariest movie when they were kids.
Exorcist.
Jaws.
That's iconic as hell, too.
I saw that when I first saw that poster. I was like, oh, I got to go see this. And you know what I love? Because you're a Mad magazine collector. The Mad cover with Alfred E. Newman swimming across the top and the shark coming up. Yes, but easily the Jaws cover. How could you with the girl swimming on the top and the shark?
So good. And Jaws is one of those, like, usually when I have $400 or $500 to spend on a poster, it always goes Halloween, of course. But have you all seen some of those Mondo posters, those rare ones for Jaws? Like where the water looks like the shark coming into the shore and shit?
No.
Oh my God. They have the best fucking posters, Jaws. Oh my God. I just remembered I should have some. Anyway, side note. But yeah, Jaws. I agree with that 100%. That is iconic as it gets.
Michael, do you have the McFarlane set with the shark and the boat and everything they made like 20 years ago?
I did, but it's one of those things. You remember me telling you the story of I didn't want to sell anything when I started the store.
And you
So I
started
would
selling.
tell people, I would dismiss them with ridiculous prices. That was one of those. And I think fair retail value is like $300 maybe to buy that thing on eBay right now. I asked for like $600-700 and they said yes, and I got it. So I'm like, well, can't turn that down.
You know, it's a
So I
killer.
had it, but I sold it. But it's a great set.
I was going to a film school down in the city, and I was at Tower Records, and they had just come out. There's like 6 of them right there. It's like it's one of those things you see 6 of them, and you realize how much it goes for now, all these years later. I have one. I have it signed by Dreyfus on the front, so I
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
cool.
yeah.
Rob
problem.
Windsor, I look forward to it, my friend. Send me that message, please, with your tag, and we'll get on that right away. I love
You
that.
know,
I love it.
The from the vault thing, I'll have to pull that out so we can pull that out when time
Excuse
allows.
me while I whip this out.
Ah!
What do you got, Michael? Number 2.
My number 2 could easily be number 1, but the original Halloween.
Ooh, look at you putting it up high. Wow.
Yep. And what's exciting to me about that poster is, especially with Mr. Tony Moran coming to the shop in November to do the wedding for me and April, is that I didn't know for the longest time when I was taking that movie poster around to get signed. I met Tony Moran. He was in Atlanta. So I went to Atlanta to meet him. And I pull the poster out. It gets all this attention every time I unroll it. And he's sitting there and people are gathering around and it's going, wow, look at that. And can I take a picture of it? Yeah. And Tony Moran says, you know what's cool about this poster? I said, what? He says, look at the hand. Do you see anything? And I looked at it. I'm like, no. And he's like, well, look at right here and here are eyes. And this is a mouth. I went, holy shit. And I've literally never seen it before. And he tries to kind of like make me look like a chucklehead. And he says, wow, what kind of Halloween fan didn't already know that? I'm surprised you didn't know that with as obsessed with Halloween as you are. I said, are you fucking kidding me? This is best case scenario. Because now I get to say for the rest of my life, fucking Tony Moran's the one that taught me that. So what do you think about that, Mr. Moran? Have another whiskey. You know what I was told? And there's no way I'm gonna be cool and play ball. I was told by the promoter of this event coming up where we're gonna have Tony Moran, and as of today, it's official. Dave Farish will be here too.
Oh, cool.
Yep, he found out about it, and he wants to be here, and I can't wait because you know what I'm actually thinking? I'm thinking about having him perform "Junk in the Trunk" right here in the shop. And I know it's funny and this and that, but be careful with that song. Anyone listening that doesn't know this already, Dave Farish, he has a rap band, and he does a song called "Junk in the Trunk."
Does
And
he really?
Oh, man.
Oh yeah.
But beware, because no matter how quirky and goofy it is, that shit will get stuck in your fucking head for the next 3 days.
I don't need that.
Junk in a trunk. It's packed up like my blunts,
I always see him posting stuff like old videos and shit on Instagram, and I'm like,
Well, you know, as a musician, like he's got a claim to fame as the Halloween movies and his
Right.
acting career, but he wants to be known as a rapper.
right.
So
Yep.
when it comes to like his appearances and shit, he will do a concert for free if you let him. But so now he's going to be here too. So I'm super pumped about that. Actually, he's most likely going to be standing up there with us when we do the ceremony and shit. Because I think it'd be cool to be standing next to Michael Myers while Michael Myers does the ceremony in the middle of the shop with all the Michael Myers shit.
It's gonna be like a Twilight Zone episode.
What's he got to be?
Another classic.
What's he in about his late 20s? I would say.
Yeah, probably by now. Yeah, mid to late 20s.
Yeah, he's in good shape. He's real skinny. He's got the long hair. He's got a couple piercings and stuff. Man, I don't want to sound all like go down that rabbit hole or nothing, but he's doing good.
Well,
It was better than he did when he was a kid.
With one of the first conventions he did when the movie came out, he was selling the full-size posters, so I bought it from him. So thanks, Dave. That's where I bought it from.
He was selling his original clown costume.
Like, yeah, somebody got it for a steal, right? I think I remember reading
it. It wasn't much. Are you talking about the Destroyer shirt and the?
No, he was selling the actual clown costume. He was selling that about a year ago, maybe within the last year. I want to say.
Oh, because within the last 2 years, I think it was like 2 years ago, he sold the shirt, the Kiss shirt.
Oh, the Destroyer shirt?
Yeah, and it went for like $3,000. Like fucking
Did it really?
Nothing.
Wow.
Yes. That's like nothing if you think of. But the problem is, when you saw the Rob Zombie Cribs on MTV, he put a stigma on top of all that shit. Because he says, this is a lot of the Halloween stuff I have from the set. And he said, we pretty much kept everything. And there's a lot of people out there saying that they have this and this from the movie. Unfortunately, it's not true. And you're sitting there going, oh, hell. So then all of a sudden, everything you go to buy, you're like questioning if it's actually real or not.
You know,
and then, like, I had bought, you remember Bree Grant?
Bree Grant?
Yeah, she did she had her Halloween costume where she had that glittery jacket and that bow tie and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I had bought the bow tie. But then all of a sudden, like 6 months later, they're selling the jacket. And it has the bow tie with it. And I said, is the bow tie from the movie too? And they said, yes, it's the actual bow tie. I'm going, the motherfucker.
What?
Because I'm holding what I thought was supposed to be the fucking one for the movie too. But there's a stigma attached to it. So I never bought any of the. But then again, Tyler Maine, if y'all remember me saying this, he found out that I offered a ridiculous amount for the station wagon in Chicago. And from Joe Caldwell, it got turned down. And then all of a sudden, Tyler Maine gave me his phone number and said, get a hold of him. And he ended up calling me and telling me that he would sell me all the stuff he had from the movie. Because there's no stigma about it if Tyler Maine's the one that fucking gave it to you. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And he said, I have a couple pairs of boots, a couple knives. I got the mask where the stripper ripped the half off my face. And then the mask I was wearing in the first one when I was jabbing up at the, how about that? Real family friendly. When I was jabbing up at the ceiling and shit. And then he says he's got the escape paper mache orange mask. He's got the bath slippers and the robe. And he named a couple of things. And then he says, it's not about the money. I just know if it went to you, it would go to a good place. I was like, cool, then just give it to me then. Like, what the fuck?
That don't work that way, right?
Exactly. And then I'm like, okay, so if it's not about the money, what's that magic number? And he quoted the exact same number, $150,000 that he found out I had offered for the station wagon. I'm like, wow, I wonder where you got that number. Yeah, I'm like, no offense. I didn't say this to him, but I mean, like, if you're going to spend six figures on something from a Halloween movie, it better be from the first one.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't care if he gave me the rights to the Halloween, Rob Zombie Halloween. I wouldn't pay $150,000 for anything that wasn't from the first movie.
You know,
true.
I always felt bad for Dig because I always thought that he could have done H2, but, you know, they had what they said they casted somebody else because of the height.
He got tall. He sprouted up. Yeah.
Yeah, he got skinny. He looks ridiculously different, though.
Yeah, he thinned out and he went up.
Now. Yeah.
So I get it.
Where were we? I don't even remember what number. We're on
number two.
Number two? And you just did your number two, right, Michael?
My number two was the original Halloween.
Right, and your number two, Brady.
My number two, which is kind of a wild card here, but I love the movie to death, is Wes Craven's Shocker.
Shocker!
Great movie. I love that movie. We should do a review of that movie.
Yes, and a lot of it goes with what's on the cover, but a lot of it's also a music thing. You guys are music people. That's a great soundtrack. Orange beard?
Great soundtrack.
Like a hillbilly.
Yes, he does.
Looks like my damn cousin Rodney.
And that actor that plays Horace Pinker, real nice guy. I got him at one of the conventions to sign the
poster. That's such a good movie. I'm going to write that down. We should do a review of that. I forgot about that movie.
Who plays him?
God, Horace Pinker's the guy's name, but he was on the X-Files.
Yeah, what's the actor's name? I feel like that's gonna drive me nuts.
I'm looking it up here. Somebody might beat us to it.
Yeah, I do not remember his name.
Michael Pink or Mitch Pileggi. Mitch Pileggi.
Pileggi. Thank
That's
you.
it.
Yes, I knew it. Okay, cool. Thank you for saving me from that trouble.
So, Michael, you like that movie then? It sounds like Patrick.
I love
likes that
the
movie.
fuck out of that movie.
I love that movie, man.
I love
yeah.
Megadeth, and I'm not a huge fan of their cover of No More Mr. Nice Guy. But when he's in the fucking electric chair, and then all of a sudden they start playing No More Mr. Nice Guy cover by Megadeth, you're like, oh, this is the greatest shit. And the way, and him killing the dude's girlfriend and shit, you're like, that's what movies need. You got to kill the people. You felt terrible for him. Terrible. It was. Oh, I love that movie a lot. I love it a whole lot.
Did their share of stuff like that. Remember they did Paranoid? They did on the Black Sabbath tribute album. They did Paranoid, which is, I think, pretty good. But what the Hidden Treasures is that album where they did all the songs. It's like some soundtracks, remake. Great. Yep. I love that album.
That was a great album. I mean, the originals they have on there with Angry Again and Go to Hell, and those are great songs. But the Paranoid cover was a little goofy. I don't think Paranoid's a good song to cover for any band.
Here's a tidbit. Shocker also stars Ted Raimi, the brother of actor Sam Raimi.
Is that the guy, the main guy?
I didn't know that.
No, Peter Berg is the cop. They're the young kid.
Okay.
He's like a director now. He's been in a handful of things.
All right, shit. I got to take a whiz because my newfound choices. I'll be right back.
Oh, yeah. Go do that whiz. So, yeah, I'm going to put that down that'll be our movie review for next week is Shocker.
This is bad, and I love that movie to death. Heather Langenkamp's a victim in that movie? Oh, man.
Yeah, it's been a minute since I watched that movie, but I think I remember seeing it. It was either on Shudder or Tubi. I remember seeing, it fly by like the cover art because it's on one of them. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh man, I got to go back and watch that. It's been a minute. And it was such a great movie.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. Director Sam Raimi. That's what I was going to say. I was thinking Sam Raimi, the director.
Oh, not Ted. I was thinking Ted too, probably. Sam is the director, yeah.
Right.
Oh, good call.
And now for my number one. My number one. Now, when I saw this poster, I was like, same thing. I was just like, wow, this looks cool as hell. I got to watch this movie. The original, what? Have a guess?
The Exorcist?
No, the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre poster.
Oh.
That's a good one.
She's up on the meat hook, and he's sitting there He's going to start the chainsaw, and she's on the meat hook, and he's got the mask and everything. I remember seeing that in one of the VHS stores. I was like, holy crap! I got to rent this fucking movie. What the hell's going on? She's on a meat hook. He's going to start the friggin' chainsaw. I'm like, oh, I got to watch this.
And little did you know, John Larroquette would be narrating it.
Yeah, right.
I'll be honest with you though. I got to tell you, I'm very surprised. Because my number one, I would assume, would be everyone's number one. But even if it wasn't, it would definitely pop up in your top 5. So I'm kind of curious that didn't even show up on your list.
Surprised me. Oh, he went and got it. Oh, no, he's writing it down.
No, but Michael, that's what I was gonna say. I think you and I were in agreement, bud.
What? Halloween 4?
Halloween 4.
That was my number 3.
Oh, yeah, he had it on there.
That was my number 3. Dildo. That was my number 3. Yep.
All right.
I actually put it above the original one. I actually put it above the original Halloween because how cool it was, with the Wallace house and the original mask.
Is that what you said?
That was my number 3. What'd you have on your number 1?
Here, Halloween 4, number 1. There you go.
Wow, look at you.
That's what's
I'll let Michael talk. Michael can say why he thinks it too, but I'm sure it's the same reasoning. So
it's the greatest fucking poster of all time. I just happened to when I was a kid, when it came out, what was that, like 88, 89? I was like 88. 5 or 6. And it was back in the day, and I'm assuming you can still do it now, but you tell the video store you want the poster, and they say, okay, well, we'll put your name on the back of it, and we'll give it to you once we take it down.
That's because there was no eBay back then, and people weren't selling them. That's why.
Yes, and I was given the Halloween 4 poster, And as a kid and in Georgia, when I was visiting with my dad, and oh man, it used to freak the shit out of me because with the white and as big as it is, like a 27 by 40, if you have that in your room, the light from your window just happens to catch that motherfucker like all day. And you look over and you're like, fuck. And you're just like, shit.
Why showed you guys remember my original, my first Halloween shirt, the airbrush shirt I had? It was the cover of Halloween 4. It wasn't even, I didn't even take Halloween. Because I love that image so much. That was the first shirt I had done, was the Halloween 4.
That's interesting, because we was just watching a behind the scenes thing on Halloween Kills earlier today, talking about the mask and like the evolution of the mask. And we went down a rabbit hole watching videos about the Halloween mask. What the hell? Nobody ever talks about that mask that they used for the poster of Halloween 4. Do you know anything about that mask?
No, actually,
I think it's just a collage of stuff, publicity stuff from the original movie. I don't think they actually made one. I think it was just maybe.
So the mask on Halloween 4 on the cover is the original mask from Halloween 1.
I think the artist's rendition of the original mask is pretty much what it is.
That's my impression of it. I could be wrong.
Okay, because I figured like nobody ever talks about it, and that's like the most iconic.
Thanks, Rob. That's what I thought. Yeah, we were talking about doing Shocker for next week, and I remember seeing it scroll either on Tubi or Shudder, but Rob's saying it's on both. But we should definitely do a review of Shocker next week.
Let's do that next week if you're down.
Next week. Oh, absolutely. I'm going to go back and rewatch it this week because it's been a minute, but it's such a great movie.
Yeah, I think with I love the original Halloween poster, but I think Halloween 4 kind of personifies the whole series a bit more, just with the mask, with the house in the background. If there was going to be one poster, I think that would personify the whole series. I think it's Halloween 4.
And that's what got everybody back into the theater. You saw that poster, you're like, oh, Michael's coming back. There's that creepy house from the original movie. So it was just good image, good marketing.
The memes always say like, this is what we were promised and this is what we got. Mm-hmm. Did you ever see the one, where like the Bucky scene from Halloween 4, where his mask is kind of like illuminated and he's like looking at the camera, and it's got him holding like a box of Pop-Tarts and a bowl of cereal, and it says, when the light comes on in the fridge when you're trying to get a midnight snack. But everybody says this is what we were promised with the movie cover, and this is what we got, and then they show the actual mask. Halloween 4 is an amazing movie. Like, I totally disagree.
The original Faces of Death,
yes. That's the one.
You broke me there, Michael. You broke me, bud.
That was true.
It's hilarious. He's holding some Count Chocula.
I know they did enough Halloween 4 stuff on Family Guy.
Yes, where they said George Wilbur is the greatest actor of all time. And when I was at age 40, I said that to him. I said, how does it feel to be the greatest actor of all time, according to Family Guy? And he's like, well, they're not wrong.
And, what's funny? Nobody has seen him since, which I hope he's doing okay. So
he's not, but, we wish him the best. I was talking to Sean, which, by the way, are we allowed to talk about that yet? Did anyone verify that?
It's been verified, yes, Brett. Correct, right?
When I talked to him, I saw him at Horror Hound. He said that you had talked to him, and I sat down with him for about a good 45 minutes after Horror Hound ended on Friday, and he confirmed next Sunday. Yeah.
So Sean Clark will be joining us next Sunday.
Next Sunday it is.
The man himself. If you fans of The Thing with Two Heads. And Horror's Hallowed Grounds, or just anything involving Halloween, the conventions, you can thank that man for all the conventions you guys enjoy going to, because he's the man that pretty much created them.
We were just talking about this earlier, and shame on me for not remembering the name of the movie, but what was Nick Castle's movie that he did that Sean Clark talked him into doing a convention because it was going to be a reunion?
The Last Starfighter.
Thank you. Shit. I kept thinking all kinds of... Anyway. Last Starfighter. And I was telling people, who is Sean Clark? He's the guy that, if you go buy the DVD at Walmart of Halloween 1, there will be a bonus featurette called The Night She Came Home about Jamie Lee Curtis doing that convention. And that's him. That's his shit. But the way it all got going is he talked to Nick Castle and got him to agree because he didn't want to do signings and this and that. But he got him to do it because he said it was going to be a Last Starfighter reunion.
Yep.
But, hey, be ready because people are going to want you to sign Halloween stuff. He said, oh, okay, whatever. And then he just made buku bucks and has been doing it every weekend since. But, yeah, Sean Clark is the guy we have to thank for so many of our memories with Halloween.
Appearances, autograph appearances, the conventions. I would recommend anybody who wants to put a comment for any questions, we'd be open for them, right?
Any questions you guys want for Sean Clark, especially if you guys fans of, with Thing with Two Heads, Horror's Hallowed Grounds, or just anything in general, below, comment and we'll be happy to read any questions you guys directed to him.
Ideal time because of Ends coming out here, and he reps a lot of those people for the appearances, so it'll be a great time.
Yeah, it's going to be a real good time next week. Absolutely. So, boys,
have fun with these guys.
What else we got going on? We can do our Scream Queen Showdown or our review of Night of the Creeps.
Well, being 7:30, I'm gonna guess that Joe's not gonna make it.
Well, we ran over 2 hours last week, so if he shows up, hopefully everything's okay.
Hopefully he does.
Yeah, hopefully everything's okay. That he had a run.
I was kind of hoping he would be here for our Scream Queen tournament, but I think we should do that. I'm looking forward to this conversation. Langenkamp and Danielle Harris.
Let's do it.
Yep.
Yeah, quick. I'll do a quick root canal while I'm here. Fix this.
Por favor, gratis. So, I'm really interested because the way I saw it when I was thinking about this, I could go one of two ways. duh.com. It could either go this way or that way with two people, but I honestly think it's gonna go this way or this way, and I'm curious to hear what y'all say about this one.
Well, we want to start since I'm in this position this week. So, admittedly, I was never as invested in Nightmare on Elm Street beyond the Dream Warriors, because after the Dream Warriors, I kind of fell off. I saw them all, but they were nothing that I kept running back to. But I remember vividly seeing Nightmare on Elm Street for the first time, and the movie blew me away, the original, and she was always cute. She was always cute. Had the Langenkamp, so she was easy on the eyes. And at that time, I think I was. What year was the original one?
84,
82? Right? 4. Thank you.
84. So I was 12 years old. So, she did great. She really, she was that same thing. Typical quiet girl, that we wouldn't suspect. But she kept trying to stay up and trying to fight him, trying to go after him.
And there was the geek from the fucking Just the 10 of Us show. If you remember those days, the one with the gym coach, dad.
All the girls.
Right.
All the girls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was the super book nerd and this and that. And when she did that movie, you're like, wow, she's cool as hell.
And she was the oldest one, right? She's the oldest one, I think, on the show. But
I think so. And then you have Danielle Harris, who we've all introduced in Halloween 4. And, we have to cover her whole body of work, obviously, when she was young, which is 4 and 5. And then
and Free
zombie
Willy.
movies. Free Willy. Then you got the Hatchet movies. She was in the Hatchet movies.
The Roseanne show.
The Roseanne show.
Daylight. Yeah.
She was David.
Don't tell Mom the babysitter's dead.
And she was hot as a motherfucker in Roseanne. She had that damn leather jacket and looked all 80s rock.
Did you see her? Did you see her when she came back? For on the Connors, which is not Roseanne anymore. She came back.
No, the second episode. They said they got rid of Roseanne for calling someone a name, I'm like,
they killed her off.
I hate this world. They
killed Danielle Harris off. She had cancer or something like that, so they killed her off.
Danielle Harris?
In the Connors, yeah.
Oh,
it's
really?
not called Roseanne anymore.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
they killed off Danielle Harris?
They killed her off. I didn't see the episode, but I remember seeing the premise and seeing,
I don't.
Entertainment
I
Weekly
don't
or
know.
whatever. So I didn't bother watching it, but she look at what she did, and in part 4, she really didn't stand up as a kid. She basically ran, which most kids would do, because she was young. So there wasn't really that much there. Then you come to the 2 Rob Zombie movies, okay, and
then you got to see her boobies.
you got to see her boobies,
Is
get her
anyone
dragged
still in
across the
here?
floor. She got her ass handed to her.
Tater tot.
And then you got to see her tots. And then you see her in part 2, and she was pretty much a pain in the ass. Yeah.
She was an actress in part 2.
Yeah. So
I think she did a great job.
Based on what the 2 of them did as Scream Queens in each of their movies and how they stood up to the plate, so to speak, I think it's Heather Langenkamp all the way. Because if you think about it, Danielle Harris in the Halloween movies, a little bit in the Hatchet movies, at no point did she stand up to Michael. Am I wrong?
What you're saying is pretty much what I'm going to be saying here pretty soon with a little different twist.
As a kid, she kind of ran, which was to be expected. I wouldn't expect her to stand up there and go toe-to-toe with him. And then in the Rob Zombie movie, she got caught off guard and got her ass handed to her. And then in the second one, she got caught off guard and got killed.
And that was the most overly fucking dramatic scene in any movie of all time. Especially when you threw Brad Dourif's reaction in there. That became like, oh my God. That was unbearably emotional for a lot of people.
That's what sticks out of the whole movie, in my opinion.
It's not to say that I don't like Danielle Harris. I love Danielle Harris, but I'm just basing it on who was the better Scream Queen, who rose to the occasion, who really fought back. And Heather Langenkamp, way the hell up here.
That is exactly one way to do it. Mm-hmm. So I agree with you. And but it's not fair because like the iconic roles, it would obviously have to go to Nancy from Nightmare on Elm Street. But she did such a good job, and they're both so original and unique.
Right.
And they're not wallpaper, we'll call it. Neither of them are wallpaper where, where they just blend into the movie and they didn't do a good job. They didn't do a bad job. They were just there, blah, blah, blah. Nobody talks about them. No one gives a fuck. But Danielle Harris, if you think of her as the child actor from part 4, oh my God, she's a warrior. She is a complete G, like totally. But Heather Langenkamp was given the fucking Nancy role in the 2 best Nightmare on Elm Street, man. It's not debatable either.
No.
The 2 best Nightmare on Elm Street movies of all time.
Some would say 3 best movies. Sorry, I count the other one too.
Wes Craven's New Nightmare was a good ass movie too.
Sorry. Anyways.
Very unique, very unique. But that on top of part 1 and part 3, like that puts her in like Jamie Lee Curtis level with a franchise that's pretty much like top 3, where Halloween's number 1. Is there Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street's 2 and 3? Like, I'll debate with anybody about that, but Dickhead actually lost in round 1 because Nev Campbell was eliminated because that was one where we pegged her up against Jamie Lee Curtis. Like, that's not fair.
That's a rough first round for those 2.
Did Heather Lange, is she an ordained minister? Did she marry the dead meat couple? The guy and the girl? I don't know. I didn't hear that.
Is that right?
I know they recently got married.
Heather Langenkamp is an ordained minister? Really?
Yeah. Wow.
Well, I have to have Tony Moran in my shop, but how cool
Hey, Rob, be sure to be here next week, Rob, and bring it up to Sean. Tell him they need some more conventions up in your area.
Hell yeah.
He organizes the talent. He really doesn't do the convention aspect. There's usually somebody that organizes it. But
didn't they just have one in Boston, I think, though? Maybe it wasn't. I thought they just had one there in Boston.
Didn't they? Rob, was it you that just went? Somebody just went to one in Boston.
Yeah, I thought so.
Well, he's saying there's only like one now. mean, granted, I'm spoiled because there's always several between the 3 states that I'm in. There's
Get the
always something
Northeast
going on.
right there. You're set.
Yeah, so I can go.
Well, y'all got to
Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey.
We got Texas Frightmares. We got Houston, Austin, Dallas, San Antonio. Like,
yeah, I'm always a drive away.
Going on here.
Yeah, I'm a drive
I'll be
away.
there in 2 hours, right?
Well, there's another Monster Mania, and there's another Monster Mania in what, 2 weeks? For the beginning of November, there's another one.
They got another one coming up in Maryland, right?
And there's one in Maryland, but there's another one down in Cherry Hill at the beginning of November too.
Oh, that's a big one.
Yeah,
That's
Cherry
always...
Hill's usually the big one.
Yeah.
Actually, anybody out there that knows about Texas Frightmare and has actually ever attended, they do it at the I believe it's the Hilton right there at that DFW airport, and it gives April and my daughter Allison like panic attacks because it is so packed ass.
Didn't they
Like
move
the
it
lines are ridiculous. The it is not big enough for what they do there.
I think they moved it. This is the first year it's moved. It moved to Irving, I think, right?
Exactly. This
Sorry.
year it's going to be at an actual convention center, so it is going to be the shit. And did you see who was the guy announced for it this year so far?
Yeah, Mr. Carpenter, right?
John fucking Carpenter.
So you're saying we should all come down there?
I think y'all should definitely come down here. I got the hookups with my some of my partnerships in the business world with those hotels right there. So we could get top floor fucking VIP status the whole weekend.
Oh, hey.
So we should definitely do that. But yeah, y'all should come out for that for sure.
Tempting.
What were we talking about? Oh yeah, Heather Langenkamp and Danielle Harris.
Well, I went Heather Langenkamp on mine, so I'm assuming. Well, I'm not going to assume so because you were making a big case for Danielle Harris. So who would you pick over the two?
Okay, so we got to compare apples to apples somehow, even though we're really comparing apples to oranges, in my opinion, on this one, because that's like very unfair. It's very unfair to Danielle Harris. You couldn't possibly get a fair shot, a fair trial in this specific lineup because Heather Langenkamp's fucking Nancy from fucking... She's the Jamie Lee Curtis of fucking Nightmare on Elm Street. And that is no small claim to fame. That is huge. So when we're talking about this overall tournament being about Scream Queens, she's like the fucking... I mean, if you in your head just went, this is how it's going to end, you say Jamie Lee Curtis is number 1, Heather Langenkamp's number 2. Like, that's just... It just pops up that way.
Well, we'll have our bracket at the end of this, and then we should have our Mount Rushmore. We can each pick a Mount Rushmore and have 4 people on it.
But now, I do...
That's what we should be doing, the Mount Rushmores. Yeah, good call.
If you put it into apples versus apples and oranges, and you consider, like, the dexterity, the versatility, because you got to remember the one thing Danielle Harris has against Heather Langenkamp is she did child acting in part 4 and 5. And there's nothing more impressive because I have a couple kids. These fucking things, they can't do shit. Like, kids are stupid.
I was not comparing the acting. I was comparing what they physically did in the movies as far as the context of the story.
Exactly, though. But think of how difficult that's got to be like 7, 8 years old and doing these emotional scenes where you're crying and all that shit, you know.
Uncle Boogeyman?
Danielle, that's not fair to throw part 5 in there. But part 4, like, and then the Rob Zombie movies, she is, okay. Let me ask you a question. Does Fright Rags or Trick or Treat or Cavity Colors or any of those companies have a Heather Langenkamp line of clothing? No.
No, I know Danielle Harris has got the one from one of the companies, right?
But Danielle Harris has her own line because she is straight up gangster. And she's iconic. But most importantly, she does track number 6 on Malicide's album.
That's what opens the podcast, boys and girls. Go back and listen.
Heather Langenkamp does not appear on the Malicide album. So if you go to malicide.com Or
Side too.
Apple Music, Spotify, any iTunes, any platform you listen to music. Look up Malicide, Malicide. That's my band. I sing and play guitar. I write all the songs. But track number 6, entitled Devil's Evolution, the woman in that song doing those lines is the one and the only Miss Danielle Harris.
Yes. And it opens every podcast, so be sure and come back next week.
Yeah, duh. So
Her scream opens up the
song for
podcast.
that scream in the beginning is Danielle Harris, and that's the song Devil's Evolution on our album.
So now you got to ask Heather to do one now, right?
Dickhead, I swear to God, you don't want to be seen on screen, but I will take your head off of your shoulders and show them your head like a fucking bitch. I'll be right back.
Oh, God.
Oh.
All right, so we didn't get the answer yet. I'm assuming he's leaning more towards Danielle.
Rip this hair on your fucking head. How dare you rip on a classic like
I'm gonna start doing the Beavis and Butthead.
I don't believe the shit I got to deal with these fucking morons.
Bastard. So,
Take
what would you
these,
say?
take these.
Would it be Danielle Harris or Heather Langenkamp? What do you say? What say you?
Okay, ignore the fact that it's a Halloween podcast. Ignore the fact that she's on the Malicide album. So she had to win before we even got started. But if I'm being fair and honest, like the child acting, the amazing job she did, I swear to Christ. Anyways, with all of those biases I have off to the side,
Oof.
she did the child acting in part 4 and 5 was immaculate. And then the folklore of having J.C. Brandy do Halloween 6 where she got killed off, that made everyone in the Halloween world realize how important and iconic Danielle Harris, not the character, but Danielle Harris specifically. She is too iconic. She is the queen. If there was like a silver medal for Scream Queens, especially in the Halloween franchise, it goes to Danielle Harris. And if anyone
I'd say
has
that.
a chance to meet her, you'll find out that she loves her fans.
Yep.
She loves her fans. She's got a business brain. She's doing that podcast where she will give you all of her. She shows her body on screen. She gives you everything. Heather Langenkamp, I just want to see them titties. I just ain't got a chance to see them titties. But Danielle Harris, she gives you everything. Absolutely everything. I give it to Miss Danielle Harris.
We're
She
1
will
and 1.
not run you off of her line. She will take her time with you. There's no doubt about it. It's
The
the
best.
experience and a half for her. So
What say you, Brady?
they have very similar things when it comes to like their franchises. The one thing I would really love to have seen what Danielle Harris, even though we could tell what J.C. Brandy did in H6, I would have loved to have seen her at least reprise that role, but we know the whole story about
We know the story. Yeah, that's what we wanted. That's what she wanted, but
it's very unfortunate, but she got to come back, just like Heather Langenkamp got to come back after she had died, supposedly. She came back in New Nightmare, and New Nightmare is probably one of my favorite horror movies.
It's a great movie and such a unique fucking angle.
Concept, right? Like the
About how
reality aspect.
It's
And-
real life all of a sudden, not a movie.
Some people, the diehard Freddy fans, did not like the way he looked. I thought he looked badass, even the trench coat and everything. I thought it was cool. But regardless, though, I would say I would have to go. I'm going to go with Heather Langenkamp just because.
I take it back. We got to
She
get
was
Joe
a-
in here. This isn't fair. This is a 4-person podcast. Hold on, let me text his ass right
You
now.
know
Tell him
Joe's
what
going to
has
pick
happen.
Danielle, right?
he's
There
gonna
you
pick
go.
Danielle.
You have.
Which is
He
killing
will
me.
though. He's got her fucking tattooed on his arm.
Yes, he
You
does.
know what's crazy, Michael? And I can relate more to Danielle, too, because, like,
Oh, so could I.
she was like a year older than me when I saw Halloween 4, and just relating a girl at that age being vulnerable and being at risk with a killer. we related to that age 4, just like I'm sure you did at that.
Do you remember that TV show on Nickelodeon? Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Was she on that one? I can remember.
She was the most iconic episode where there was that girl inside the mirror that wore that little nightgown. That was her. But she has been all over my childhood. She was in Free Willy. She was in Roseanne. I didn't like Roseanne as a kid when it was out, but my grandma made me watch it because that was her favorite show. But Danielle Harris is just... And she's on the fucking Malicide album. How more gangster do you get than that?
Hey, and she worked, when she was pregnant, she worked on Tarantino's movie, The Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, recently. That's kind of cool, working with Tarantino.
But she's what you want out of a celebrity. You listen to her podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And she answers your questions. She's so personable. She gives a fuck about her fan.
Well, like I said, I didn't go by what they do outside. I went by what they did in the movie. Because to me, a scream queen is what you did in the movie.
Oh, yes, absolutely. No, I don't.
That's the angle I look at. Oh, because maybe Danielle, if it was like a personability thing, Danielle Harris is way the hell up here. I mean, you can't deny that.
Well, that's what we're talking about here, though. We are discussing the fact that what impact did they have on your personal life? We're not doing the IMDb, Wikipedia fucking debate here.
That's one of my favorite possessions, the signed mask etched in this frame here like that.
Oh, cool.
Yes, you got the clown mask, you got the scissors, you got...
Yep.
She's so iconic.
He's got him. See, you swayed his vote.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
He just doesn't want his head ripped off after that bullshit
Michael,
he was talking earlier.
This is a tough one. This is no doubt.
Oh yeah, this was like God no. I just had to put in context. I had to watch the movies in my head and take out the personable aspect of it.
You got to look at the Scream Queens that were follow-ups. Like, she's a follow-up technically to Jamie Lee Curtis in the series, right?
Oh, hey, it's Joe. Joe, what's going on, big dog? We were afraid you weren't going to make it to the podcast. Oh, cool. You're going to do it right from the shop. Yeah, this me, Joe. I just had to chime in because Danielle Harris. Oh, shit. Danielle Harris versus Heather Langenkamp. I have to give it to my girl, Miss Danielle Harris. Oh, good, Joe. That's really good because I was afraid Danielle Harris was going to lose for a minute there because it was 2-1. But thank God you showed up and voted for Danielle Harris because now it's a tie.
Michael, can we talk the new Beavis and Butthead show?
It's gonna be a tie. It's gonna be a tie because I can pretty much bet he would give it to Danielle Harris.
He would give it to Danielle Harris for sure.
When we hear from Big Joe,
like twice.
We'll declare a winner for this week after we hear from Big Joe because it's only fair.
Yeah, it might be close to like last week's, but like I say, Danielle Harris is like a follow-up to Jamie Lee Curtis, which is kind of unfortunate. If you could separate them, then I would have Danielle Harris right there beating Heather Langenkamp. But what is this? I prefer Danielle Zanny over Nancy Loomis, honestly. Oh, okay.
But you're a Rob Zombie fan. My man is like, this is Rob Zombie's biggest fan. No bullshit. He even likes Lords of Salem, if that tells you anything.
Oh, God, that movie's horrible.
Exactly. He is such a fucking Rob Zombie fan. He pretends like Lords of Salem's not stupid.
How about the movie with the clowns? It's like The Running Man. Rob Zombie's version of The Running Man. That's a good movie.
Oh, 31.
31. What do you think of 31, Beige? He says good. He doesn't want his voice heard, though, because he's a man of mystery, but...
We'll have to garble it. So it's all
I didn't realize Danielle Harris did an episode of the new Creep Show. I'm looking her up right now. I'm like, I got to go back and check that out. That's pretty cool.
Which one?
It says she's Marnie, segment from Things in Oakwood's Past. I haven't watched the last season, so.
I didn't watch last season, yeah.
Oh, from season 2? Yeah, no, it was stupid. The first season was amazing, but I tried like the first 4 or 5 episodes of season 2. It's stupid.
Well, while we got Michael all riled up, you want to go run right into our Night of the Creeps review?
That's yes. You got to.
Let's just keep getting his blood pressure up. Let's keep pushing his blood pressure.
Nice.
We'll prepare for our review of Night of the Creeps.
The night of the fall is finally here for Chris, Cindy, and JC. it's going to be the best night of their lives. But tonight is also the night of the creeps. From a world unknown comes a nightmare unimagined. First, they are under you, around you, on you, and then inside you.
They get in through your mouth, and you walk around while they incubate, even if you're dead.
They are a new breed of terror. They are a different kind of horror. The creeps are taking over. You have never had a night like this. Night of the creeps. If you scream, you're dead.
I got good news and bad news, girls. The good news is your dates are here.
What's the bad news?
They're dead.
Greatest line
dead.
ever.
The one, the only, Mr. Tom Atkins.
He's so awesome in the movie.
I'll tell you.
Thrill me.
There's a word that they use to describe movies like on Netflix and things like that, and that word is campy.
Oh, big time.
And I'll tell you what.
Oh yeah.
I can't say that I've ever seen a movie that takes the pie when it comes to campy. Because that movie, okay, so as a super horror fan and having a great woman next to me that pretends to like horror so that she can have shit to talk about with me, which that's all they do. They're lying. If they say they actually like it, they're lying. They're just being nice to you. But she legitimately, we saw the preview for it a couple weeks ago, and that's why we brought it up this week, is because I was like, oh shit, she really wants to watch this movie. Like, it is campy. You got the slugs, you got the goofy ass, like the makeup effects. I mean, this was like, okay, if I had to say any word other than campy, it would be charming. This movie was like the most charming fucking horror movie I may have ever seen. And I am a Tom Atkins fan, not from Halloween 3, but like Creepshow.
Creepshow.
Yes, that's the fucking stepdad from Creepshow that backhands that little bastard who was asking for it. And the fucking, I don't know if that's the popular opinion in that scenario, but here we are.
We don't.
At least
The
we're not doing
podcast
this
does not
live.
endorse child abuse.
At least we're not doing this live. We could edit this, right?
Sure.
But, you know, we're all advocates for, I mean, not being out of control or nothing, but who doesn't want to beat children sometimes? They just ask for it. But anyways, no, what I'm saying, the goofy ass, it's like the one complaint I had is that it was like the makeup effects artist had that one move where every fucking death had to be a bullet straight to the middle of the head.
And the head,
And
yeah.
it's got to split right down the center, just like that. And every one of them looked like the same fucking makeup effect. But the campiness, the good news, bad news, they're here but they're dead.
Love that.
Tom Atkins, I kind of see the Tom Atkins charm now.
Yeah.
Because to me, he was the guy from Creepshow, which was good enough. But then he was Halloween 3, which was like not. It's dumb. But everybody gives Tom Atkins, like he has his own line on fucking Trick or Treat or Fright Rags or one of those. He's got like the Tom Atkins shirts because he's like iconic. And I didn't get it until I saw Night of the Creeps. When I saw Night of the Creeps, I really did understand what they were saying. Big Tim, what you doing, dog? Who was that statue? Oh, never mind. We're jumping in the middle of their conversation. But anyways, I saw that, the campiness of it. There was like a ton of death in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
I think it turned out to be like, was it 39 or 40 fucking deaths in that movie? And if you're doing the math, that's a lot of death.
That's a lot of death.
An hour and 45 minutes. But I'll be honest with you. Rating it, I would give it a 6. Like
That's good.
I'm very standoffish. Like in my older age, I've realized something about me is that like nothing gets in. Like everything I like 20 years ago as well. So there's not a lot of new shit that I see that makes an impression on me, but this was a cool fucking movie. So I got to give it a 6.
Awesome.
This would be a good riff tracks, this movie, right?
The best riff tracks. Maybe that's what we should yes. That's what we should do.
We could do that.
Let's do a riff tracks of fucking well, we can't call it that for legal reasons, but
Yes, we'll come up with a different name and try to change the concept a little bit and make it our own.
Oh.
Fuck them. We can
Pat,
do
you
it.
want me to go or you want to go? Whatever you want to do.
It's up to you. You can go if you want. I'll go last. Sloppy
I'll
thirds. Been there, done it.
I'll knock it out. Yeah, this is probably one of the first like horror / I guess I could say comedy movies I saw when I was a kid. When I first saw those aliens, they're just hilarious, ridiculously looking, butt naked, running around. It was so bizarre. Jason Lively, though, the main character, he was a Rusty Griswold from the Vacation movies. He's one
European
of the
Vacation.
So that kind of, I was hooked on that right away. But Tom Atkins easily makes this whole movie with his quotes and just, and Michael, he's also a Carpenter guy too. Like I know you don't like some of the other Carpenter movies, but he's a big part of The Fog. He's in Escape from New York.
Escape from New York. Yep.
He's in some stuff, and I was watching the supplemental stuff. And you're a Creep Show guy, you'll find this interesting. When George Romero asked him to be a part of Creep Show, he wanted the part as that Stephen King got on the farm. He wanted to be that character.
Jordy Verrill.
No, Stephen King doesn't act it. He wanted to do that part, and he wrote it. I can't tell him no. So
interesting. That'd have been cool as
I
hell.
want you to be the dad, which it'll kind of oversee all the stories, and he took it right away, of course, and that worked out because he's a good prick in it. So in Creep Show,
yes, he does, and that's really the only movie he played where he was a prick that I could think of.
The director writer Fred Decker, he's done some big stuff. He did Monster Squad.
Right.
He wrote House. We talked about House.
Classic.
I love every time all the main characters are named after directors. If you've seen that, they're all named after Carpenter, Romero. All the characters have different names if you go back and look at it. What was it here? The first scene, if you remember the first scene, you see Tom Atkins. He's on the beach. It is just so random, and he's dreaming. Do you guys remember that segment?
Yes.
He's drinking.
Sees a hot chick get out of the water, and he's like,
And then you got the Asian janitor that's like screams like banshees.
Screaming like banshees.
Oh God, it's too much. And like the slugs, they move so fast. They're like missiles, like out of a mouth.
Do you know that trick where like I call it the Austin Powers like movie trick where like he throws a cigarette into their mouth, but you can tell so obviously that it's just they put a string on the cigarette and jerked it out and then did it in reverse. Those leeches were like that times 1,000. Like you're sitting there going, like they just end up swallowing the leeches, and you're like, oh yeah, they were just reversed that, but hilarious. What's up, Big Tim?
Do you remember the scene with the bus driver driving all the male dates and then sees the dog?
The possessed dog.
He swerves and then he's gonna hit the other car. Did you see the bus driver's face change?
His eyes bald. The eyes came out like Large Marge.
So random.
Large Marge.
So random. Other than that, what is it? My favorite quote. What is this? A homicide or a bad B movie? I love that. That's good stuff. And it also, last thing I would say, Dick Miller's in it. And if you guys know who Dick Miller is.
Dick Miller, yep. He's been in everything, Dick Miller.
Joe Dante's films. He was in Gremlins. He's the old dude in Gremlins. He's in The Burbs. Chopping Mall. He has one scene in
Chopping Mall. He's been in, Dick Miller's been like everywhere.
Icon. And he passed away only like a year or two ago in his 90s. But just a great little character actor in it. But the Terminator, I just remember him running the gun shop.
Nowhere I saw him. I was up late one night. I couldn't sleep when I was having a bad allergy attack, and I was on Pluto because that's all I ever watch because it's free. And I don't know if you remember this like low budget like Skinamax type movie. How was it called? Candy Stripe Nurses.
Candy Stripe. That sounds delicious.
It's like a low budget Skinamax type movie, and it's like it's a B movie. It's a really bad movie, but there's a lot of tater tots, a lot. Just judging from the name. So because I saw Candy Stripe Nurses, I'm like, oh, maybe this is like one of those Skinamax movies, and it turned out to be. It's like from the 70s. And lo and behold, there's a scene where they're at a basketball game, and there's like an unruly spectator yelling at the guy because he sucks, and it's Dick Miller. I was like, holy shit, there he is again. That guy's in everything.
You know who that is, right, bud? You know who Dick Miller is, right? Or no?
Yeah, from the Gremlins. I remember him most of
the old
that.
guy, that's the grumpy guy.
He's just everywhere. So I'll let you finish. I just had to throw it in because I couldn't believe it. Like this low budget, I'm like early 70s movie. I'm like, that guy was in that fucking movie too.
Tom Atkins he really does make the movie though. There's no doubt about it. I give this a solid 7. Shane Black, who is also a good friend of Fred Decker, who wrote and directed it. Shane Black used this. He helped out on set, and he proposed the script after this to Warner Brothers, which became Lethal Weapon, and that's how he got Tom Atkins in it. So
Tom Atkins was in Lethal Weapon. That's right.
You could thank Lethal Weapon because of this movie, because Shane Black worked on this with his childhood friend Fred Decker. So sorry, I just wanted to throw this little.
I never put that together. That's the motherfucker that was the dad of the chick that committed suicide.
Yeah, he's got the eggnog and gets shot through.
Oh, man. I didn't even... Yes. That dude's a badass.
The next year. But I give it a solid 7. I just... it brings back a lot of memories. And there's a director's cut. The director's cut has a bit, I guess, of a happier ending, if you're going to say it.
Is there? Oh, I didn't know that. I got to go check that out.
Yeah, it's just a different ending. It's not with the dog at the end, but yeah. Solid 7 for me.
Awesome.
Nice.
See, there's a lot of nostalgia, as Brad, is basing his on this too, as well. Is because I remember seeing it because those were the days of, when HBO was big and Cinemax was big, and they were always looking for late night movies, and those are the kind of movies that were always on late at night, like the B-movie horror movies, especially on Cinemax. And I remember it popping up on, it was either Cinemax or HBO, and I remember seeing it because I don't remember renting it. I remember seeing it on HBO, I believe, or one of those. And because, he was still pretty relevant because European Vacation was pretty much right around the same time. So I guess they were trying to, and I don't think, what else was he in besides those two movies? I really don't remember him being in anything else.
Those are the only two things I remember him in.
Yeah, he just, dropped off after that. But it's such a fun premise. It's silly premise, of course. Everybody knows my love for Tom Atkins because I like H3. I liked him in Creepshow. Loved him in Escape from New York. And actually, this predates it, but he was also a cop in Maniac Cop. He was the lieutenant in Maniac Cop, if you ever seen Maniac Cop. But that was after Night of the Creeps. And it's just, to me, it's what I consider. It's people say yes, it's absolutely campy. The dialogue's campy. The effects are cheesy as hell. But it's a fun movie to watch.
Very fun.
You don't have to expect anything. You're just waiting to see what happens because it's fun. You have the typical 80s asshole, good-looking guy with the blonde hair that were like poster child for like being the dick in every movie, and that guy played it perfectly, and he got his in the end. Well, not in the end, so to speak, in the mouth when the dog gave it to him. Did you see that dog? And the dog's like. Psh! And then it stops. They froze his face, and it's in his mouth. He's like, but it's so much fun. You do see her tots very briefly.
Yeah, there's some tater tots in this movie.
There's some tater tots, but you also see the what's her name's
female lead.
The female lead. When she was putting on her nightgown, you saw a quick flash of her tots, and she was cute as hell. But I just love the whole premise, the whole backstory. Which was a lot of fun. The whole backstory of what happened to Tom Atkins when he was a kid. Remember the escaped maniac? He was the cop on scene who found the guy who hacked up the girl that he lost, so to speak. And he went back and found the guy, killed him, and buried him underneath where the house mother's house was. Remember, it came out of the floor, and it's just all of a sudden you see this thing, and the old lady's like, ah. So I like the whole backstory. To me, it's just a fun. Sometimes movies are like, but it's a fun popcorn movie.
Fun popcorn.
You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with it. It is what it is. It's not an Academy Award winner, but it's just a fun movie to watch. And I'm right there with you, Brady. I'll give it a 7.
Nice.
He was a part of the Dukes of Hazzard here. It said Rod Moffat is his character's name. It shows him in most of the seasons. So I didn't watch the Dukes of Hazzard, which is sacrilegious probably to people. But.
How dare you? I used to watch it every Friday night, the Dukes of Hazzard and the Incredible Hulk.
Oh yeah,
It was a Friday night. It was a Friday night lineup.
I did watch that with Lou Ferrigno and Bill Bixby.
Mm-hmm. That was the Friday night lineup. It was the Dukes of Hazzard and the Incredible Hulk.
We're all in the family, right? That was the other part.
All the family was on Sunday nights.
Meathead.
Oh my God, I love
Jesus.
that show so much.
Jesus. So the only thing we had left, or maybe we're hitting about 2 hours. I thought maybe Joe would have came in, but I hope everything's good with him and his daughter that he wasn't able to get on, because I know Joe doesn't like to miss episodes. So I'm hoping everything's okay with him. The only other thing I was going to go over was, did anybody pre-order any of the Halloween Ends variants?
I don't pre-order if I don't feel like I have to.
Well,
And
some of them
it
you
just
have to
feels like
kind of,
that's
because
something that's going to be for sale when it comes out. Like I don't feel like I need to give my money away for nothing for the next 2 months. Actually, those don't come out till like fucking January.
Yeah, I was thrown off until I talked to Pat during the week. I pre-ordered them. I'm like, oh damn, the physical ones aren't until January.
Yeah, I think I'd rather just pay the extra like $20 or whatever someone throws on it. But that one, I don't even think you got to worry about that. I think those will be for sale, like when they come out. Like, I don't think that's something that'll like just sell out or nothing like that. Do you?
I did the art edition just because it was like one per address. I think it was numbered, and the last art edition was. Is that on there, Pat? Is that one of them right there?
So this is the Sacred Bones, and it's showing. Yep, the digital release, if you order digitally, is the day of the movie release. The physical release date is 1/20/23. And you have this one, which is.
I think that's the art edition. Yeah.
Yeah, there's the art edition one. This one I know I ordered that.
Those are still available for pre-order right now?
They're showing available. I got the cassette. Definitely got to get the cassette. I love my cassette.
Yeah, I love cassettes.
I got the regular and the CD I got too. It's this way I can listen to it.
I actually started looking for a poster because I got all the 27x40 movie covers, but I also have those bus posters, the bus stop ones at the front of the shop. I got Halloween Kills, 2 Halloween Kills ones. I want to get the Halloween Ends one for that, but it hasn't come out yet.
This and Waxwork Records is doing one. Does it show the release date on this one? Hold on a second.
I'll show you my Ends one, Michael, if you haven't seen it.
No, it doesn't show.
What is it? A bus stop poster or the 27x40?
Just the regular 27x40.
Yeah, so the Waxwork one is kind of typical of the other ones. It's, what are they calling this? It just says Halloween Ends.
Let's see.
It's not really even saying what the color is. Exclusive colored vinyl variant. Whatever you want to call it. It's like a green.
Yes.
You said
is that a double-sided one?
Double-sided, and it's like I had one of those frames where it's got the lights inside of it. It's one of those ones that brightens up really nice.
Hell yeah.
Oh, there's Mary about chiming in. What's up, sweetie? Hey, guys, Joe just got home. He might log on soon. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Might log on soon. 6 minutes post-ending time.
And this is also one from Shout Factory, which I wasn't even aware of at first. And I did not order this one. So
There's
Shout
just too
Factory.
many. It's like
There is. I mean, it looks cool, but it's like, another one.
There's just too many.
But I'm just trying to see if any of them are coming out sooner than this. These aren't showing.
I'll show you where it's at. Oh, you're okay.
Product information, production date 2022. It's not saying when it's being released though. It's the same thing. The only one is saying what they. So far, Sacred Bones is the only one saying January release. Then there is this one. Halloween Ends exclusive green Cornetto vinyl.
See, that's annoying when you have this shit just sitting on your display because we're not gonna open the shit.
Yeah.
You have it sitting there. You can't. There's like a little block in the side of it or something that says it's different from the one beside it. That's not fun.
So this one's only 500 made. 172 still available for pre-ordering. And same thing. This is January 20th of 23. And last but not least, and I think these are the only ones that I found. If there's any other ones, let us know. I think these are the only ones. The last one is Revolver Magazine, which I didn't even know they put shit like this out. I thought they just put the freaking.
I didn't know they
out.
still existed.
I'm there with you too. I didn't even know they were still around either. This is Halloween Ends. Blood
Where's
Splatter.
Krang?
Kerrang. Hey, Cream Magazine came back. Anything can come back. Cream Magazine's back. Yeah. You're into music. Take some time one night and go watch the history of Cream Magazine. That is a great documentary. Well worth watching. Yes, fantastic. The history of Cream, it's absolutely worth it. Especially you as a musician, you get the biggest kick out of it. Absolutely worth it.
They made a documentary on that. I just know the magazine from that movie, Almost Famous.
Yeah, go. It's I think it's just called the history of Cream Magazine, and it's well worth it. It's a great documentary. But this is the only
I want to go home and play some damn F1-3.
That actually is a pretty cool version with the like blood in the middle. It's like a bloodshot eye. My eyes in the morning after a night of drinking.
Look at that.
So I think those are the only. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different companies that are putting out variants, and I think those are the only ones that I was able to find. If people know of any other ones, by all means, share in the comments because I don't know of the other ones. That's all I saw.
I did all of them from 2018, but I gave up on kills. It was just too much.
There was too many. I got maybe 3 of them, 3 different ones, and there's probably like 10, 12 of them. I think I got 3 different ones, and that was enough. And with the ends here, I think I got 3, maybe 4. I
Did we lose him? I think we lost him, Michael.
Oh shit, he's froze.
Hey, do we know who won that Halloween Atari game on eBay a couple weeks ago?
Who it was, I don't have a clue.
Last week. Were you watching it or no?
No, because it's one of those things where I feel like I should own it, but so I didn't want to. I'm not going to play along with that. That's ridiculous.
It would only frustrate you.
That's interesting that you say that, though, because look at this.
Did you guys just have that? My internet just crapped out for a second. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, you were froze, so him and I talked for.
Gotcha. Sorry about that. I don't know what the hell that came from.
He knew who won the Atari game. Hey, look at that.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yep. So I got an actual game, not with the cover or nothing. The cover I have is a reproduction, but I have one of the actual games and an Atari to play it. So, like, I plugged it in and it works. So if you come to the shop, I have this plugged into a TV. You can play the actual Atari game for Halloween that if you've never had a chance to.
Are you saying we're going to play that in November? Okay, gotcha.
Oh, is it terrible?
That music is a killer, right?
Oh,
hey,
it's the worst.
That was the shit when I was a kid, though. I was like, dude, that was the best thing ever, man. Just goes to show you how.
Imagine. What's the Chainsaw Massacre game like physically?
I've never played it.
It's the same makers, isn't it?
Was it videos? It's the same one. Those are the only 2 horror ones they put out. Yep. Actually, there is a Halloween 3 one out there somewhere too. I've never seen it.
You were saying that. I've never even heard of that.
Hold on a second. Yeah, it was on advertisements, but I have never seen it.
Man, it's too bad he wasn't froze. We were gonna do some riff tracks with you sitting there frozen and just.
Was that like this?
Yeah. Nice.
Well, the original Friday the 13th on the original Nintendo rules. I'm sorry, that's a guilty pleasure. It just rules.
I love that game. And I could beat that shit in like 20 minutes or less every time.
My sister is a big proponent of that game, and she's a horror person, too. Besides being... She's probably watching right now. She can be like, you're an asshole, but no. No, she was really good at the game. I just like watching her play it because when Jason would pop up in those cabins, it was quite a trip and a half. So
it gets intense, but as long as you go to the cave and you don't even need the flashlight. You just go to the cave, jump 3 times, and then go in and fight the mom's head, and get the flamethrower or the flame. Oh man, The second he pops up right after that, and you can just keep attacking him and following him until you beat him.
Good
So
That's
game.
a lot of fun. But
So
for
this
real,
is-
you do have the. Oh, there you go.
This is the original. This is one of the copy of the original advertisement, and right here at the bottom is Halloween 3. I've never seen it.
Maybe it never got released, or it did.
I don't know. I've never seen it, or at the time, had I seen it, I definitely would have had it because, like I said, I had the original one. But
I gotta show that to
definitely
my brother because my brother was a 2600 fan, so he might. Oh, this is 1300, but it doesn't matter.
Are you able to go on websites right there,
Yeah.
my friend? Hey, look what we got.
Oh, hold on. Let me stop sharing my screen so I can get him in here. Better late than never.
There he is! Hey!
What's up, guys? What's up? Excuse my extreme tardiness. I apologize sincerely, gentlemen.
Wait,
everything-
tardiness, TARDINESS or TARTINESS?
The first one.
MOUSA.
Yeah, the
I was
first
gonna
one.
say because there's late and then there's retardy.
Oh,
Everything good?
no, yeah, everything's cool.
Okay.
Everything's good. Yeah, everything's all right. Now.
So I'm glad you're here. Since you came into the shop, I see you made it home safe. Like you were just here, like an hour ago, and you jumped in and gave your vote. Everybody was, they were happy to hear you voted, but then you cruised back to your house, and now you can join us from your place, right?
Yes, exactly.
So, recap what you were telling us earlier when it came to Heather Langenkamp versus Danielle Harris. They think I was lying. They think I was just talking in your voice.
What?
But
He
here
didn't
you
say
are.
anything?
You can actually tell them now yourself.
You
All
looked
right,
a lot like
okay.
you looked a lot like a finger, though.
All right, so you know what? I'm really glad because if there's anything I do share tonight, it would be my opinion on those between the two, the Scream Queen versus, because this is a good one. This is a good meaty one because my infatuation, my love,
There you
all
go.
of that I have to then put on the back burner and be honest when it comes to you putting her up to somebody. Okay, now
The finger might have been wrong.
yeah. So when you look at franchises, right? You look at Heather Langenkamp. She's in a different what you call tier. I look at tiers, right?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yes, okay.
Speaking of tears, I hope you say
Yeah.
what you said in the shop. Or I'm gonna.
Well, hold on. It's just because I struggled with this because of my love and infatuation with Danielle Harris. But when you break it down to the essence of what makes a Scream Queen, that first movie, the first Nightmare on Elm Street, she handed Freddy his ass.
Mhm.
She stood for women empowerment. The booby traps. Hold on, hear me out. The booby traps. She was like, "I'm not afraid of you anymore, Freddy." Like it was a defining character, and she played the hell out of that role. And she was younger at that time. She was young. I don't know exactly how old she was at that time, but she was fairly young. When you compare that to then, Danielle, where she was a child actress, she did make the Jamie Lloyd character, something that was, memorable and you love her and all that stuff. When you break it down, when you tell it from the soul, when it's verses, you got to go with Heather Langenkamp. You got to, because of who she is. It's like wait a minute. It's
the series, right?
because wait. Because if you and we've all talked about this, if you really know, horror movies, and you have you got to give respect where respect is due. Heather Langenkamp is up there with like Jamie Lee Curtis, and she's up there, man. You can't disrespect that. You can't disrespect that, man. I'm sorry.
Joe, can I add this? Like, let's just say, who's the broad that played? She was in Nightmare 4 and 5. Like,
You tattooed on your motherfucking arm.
Yeah. 4 and 5.
Where's your Heather Langenkamp tattoo, you motherfucker? Are you serious?
Well, no. Well, here's the thing. You
came into the shop. You told everybody your vote was for Danielle Harris. Everything made sense, and now you're coming. I don't even.
Hold on. No. But here's the thing, though. Danielle is liked for different reasons. She's a sex symbol. She has put herself out there in ways that you look at her differently. She kind of gravitates towards the younger guys, the sexiness, the sex appeal, and all that. Heather Langenkamp never had to do that to maintain who she is or nothing like that. She's
because she doesn't give it
wholesome
up for her fans like Danielle Harris does.
yeah, but when you break it down to the roles
She
and the
gave
movies
all of
and the
herself to her
franchises,
fans.
oh man, it's hard to beat Heather Langenkamp, man. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, but all love to Danielle Harris.
Oh hell
And-
yeah!
and- Yeah, look, just because you lose a fight doesn't mean you're not a good fighter. It doesn't mean anything. Canelo just won last night, but he lost many fights before, so it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Michael's on the
She's
Coors
tattooed
Light
on
thing.
your fucking arm. What in the hell? We were talking about Twilight Zone earlier. This is the biggest Twilight Zone I've ever experienced in my fucking life.
Well, I'll tell you this though, you're
Are you
really
kidding me?
you're really making me want to go get a Heather Langenkamp tattoo now.
Oh, you motherfucker.
Her in the tub with the Freddy hand coming up.
Yo, and tell me that scene is not uber sexy. That
Hey.
scene just spits sexiness. It spits it.
Well, how about when she's going up the steps and the steps just caving in? She's working those calves, man. Yeah,
Oh man. She was wearing those jammies, you know what I mean? She was kicking ass in jammies in a new night. Oh,
those jammies. She brought him back in New Nightmare.
yeah, she was really bad. Dylan, all that shit. Great. Love that. But I'm sorry, Michael. I'm sorry, buddy. But this is just a versus. This is not, if we start picking now, I think what y'all talking about, MB kind of gave me a brief
My darling.
overview. Y'all were talking about
I don't need a tampon. I need
what do you call
people
that?
on my
Mount
Rushmore?
Rushmore.
Mount
Yeah, Mount
Rushmore.
Rushmore. Yeah.
The truth.
We'll do that one episode. We'll do like the 4 that we put on Mount Rushmore.
Yeah. See, because if you break it down to that, I know out of the two, somebody from those two is making Mount Rushmore and someone isn't. And we know who that is. Come on, guys.
Your
Come
brothers.
on.
We don't know anything anymore. I thought we knew things. I don't know anything, anymore. I don't know.
I'm sorry. I'm so
anything anymore.
sorry. I'm so sorry.
Hey, Joe, what about Night of the Creeps, buddy? We got to hear about that, right?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Tom.
Yeah, we're
Atkins.
throwing everything at you. Then we got to know your 5 posters. All your homework is
my
due
gosh.
now.
Oh my
That's right,
gosh.
It's bright in here.
No, well, Night of the Creeps.
It's
I mean,
nothing to do with anything. It's just bright. That's why my eyes are watering. It has nothing to do with anything. Thank you.
no, Night of the Creeps, man, classic, man. Tom Atkins, the teenage actors were fun. I can't remember the actors' names over the top of my head, but that's just like a fun night. Like, you ain't got nothing else better to do.
Right.
Movie, put it on, sit back and relax and just get all, nostalgic and that's like a real true horror fans like it's really good. It's a really good movie. God, I didn't really get to hear what y'all said about it. Did y'all like it? Y'all like the movie, right?
Oh,
Did
I
y'all
love
like the
that
movie?
movie.
Yeah.
I think Pat and I liked it more than Michael a little bit, but yeah.
Michael had a lot. He did have a high praise
did
for it,
like
though.
it.
He did.
Did
He liked it. He gave it a 6. We gave it a 7.
It would be a good riff tracks, is what we were talking about.
Oh yeah, that's a hell of an idea. Yeah. That's a good idea. No, I mean if we're grading it and just not to take up too much time, I got to give it a 7.
Yeah.
Got to give it a 7. It's not it's not middle line. It's upper. It's upper.
Yeah,
it's fun. It's
I
fun.
think that's what I gave it. I don't know, Pat. Is that what you gave it?
I gave a 7. Michael gave a 6.
Yeah, the
we're cool.
concept was cool. A little slug.
But don't listen to me. I just realized when I went in there to take a whiz, I looked in the mirror and I thought, I only knew 2 things in this world. And now I was wrong about one of those 2 things. I knew 2 things. My first name starts with an M, and Joe would vote for Danielle Harris. And
So,
now,
if you were in the shop right now, he'd be grabbing you like friggin'
Hey,
Pacino.
Well,
Grab Fredo.
You got to but you
broke
got
my
to
heart.
It's not
Would
a
you
it's the
mind
competition
driving me home?
that
I don't
That's
feel like
that's
I'm
what I
like
based it on. I
somebody
based it on
else.
that.
I don't
But
think
you
I'm
also did the political
eligible
route,
to
which is
operate heavy
I think is
equipment.
the right way to do it in that situation too.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I went around saying Danielle Harris is the best, of all time, I'd be not telling the truth. And I really would be kind of it'd be shameful of me to do that based on all how many great actors
Well, I
there are.
understand what you're saying, though.
Halloween
But if
4
you
was
think about
Halloween
it,
1, then yeah.
when Heather Langenkamp took her shirt off and showed the world her boob. Oh, wait.
I know.
Shit.
But if you took one of
But
let's say,
in all fairness, when she had to do that acting as a no, that wasn't her either.
well, how do y'all know how old Heather Langenkamp was when she was in the
Michael,
first
can
movie?
we still have Heather Langenkamp come to
55!
your place in November?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have my phone on me, but I would say was she was early 20s or a teenager?
Well, Friday they came out in 84, correct?
Yeah, 84.
64.
Wait, Michael wasn't on. I should show him.
She was
my,
20. She was 20 years old.
Yeah, for being 20 and
Yeah,
and doing
she
a
was born in
performance.
1964, and it was 1984, so she was 20.
Yeah, so they were shooting when she was 19, probably.
Well, Danielle Harris is no doubt one of the people who listen to our podcast. And I'd like to take this opportunity to say, Miss Danielle, I appreciate everything you did with the album. I appreciate your work. I appreciate you giving everything of yourself. As a matter of fact, our buddy Joe here was your biggest fan at your podcast in Houston. He paid for the full. He was one of those 3 people that paid hundreds of dollars to do the Danielle Harris experience. I don't know what he went through today, but clearly it was something that just got his mind in the wrong place. So, Miss Danielle, I would like to express my apologies for Mr. Joe. He knows not what he does.
Joe,
Please.
top your 5 movie posters.
But she will forgive.
What's your 5 movie posters,
Danielle
Joe?
Harris, she will forgive you, sir. But Heather Langenkamp, she ain't even going to talk about us, man. But Danielle Harris,
It's nothing personal. She
I
trust me.
know.
She
think
if
she
you
was
hold
gonna
on,
win,
let
though.
me put it in
I didn't
perspective.
think she was going to win the
If
whole
you have
thing,
to
but she wasn't going to
grovel,
lose in round 1.
if you have to grovel for a part in the movie, that kind of says something. I'm just saying.
You tattooed a groveler on your arm.
Listen, she was like, I think it's time to bring Jamie back. Da 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 da. I'm just saying.
Scarlett Johansson.
Heather Langenkamp doesn't
Can
have
you
to
show
do
me
that.
that Danielle Harris tattoo one more time?
It's
Hey,
right
Michael, Danielle Harris has a better signature.
here. Oh my god.
Oh, she's
Big
got a metal
signature.
like a modern day metal
Yeah.
logo.
Yeah, it's like
You
barbed
see
wire.
that?
Barbed wire.
Hey, if it makes you feel any better, Patrick had to get my attention away. Like, we were watching Danielle Harris while we were waiting in line for Dick Warlock, and Patrick's just like hit me. He's like, "Come on."
We're like, because we're online. Dick Warlock's in front of us. Danielle Harris is over here, and Brett's like,
Bro, hey.
and I'm talking to him, and I look at him. He says, "I'm like, Brett, he's what?
Hey, dude, she's
Oh
banged.
my
She's
God.
beautiful. She's beautiful. They're both
You're
beautiful.
wearing
Yeah.
headphones, right, Joe?
Yeah.
So no one in the room.
Mary
can
Beth's
hear.
watching anyway. No, Mary Beth's
she's
probably watching.
She's
That's what's
watching.
going on.
Oh, she's
She's watching.
I figured it out. I figured it out. He has gotten himself in hot water because he loves her too much. So he had no choice.
Conspiracy.
He
Perhaps.
had no
Perhaps.
choice but to vote the other way so he could prove to Mary Beth that's not the love of his fucking life.
The election's rigged.
Oh, I got.
Hey,
Hold
no,
on.
blink
I
twice.
got some.
If
Hold
there's
on, real quick.
accuracy.
I wanted to show these things off real quick that I was able to pick up. Real quick. I got them right here.
Dude.
Real quick. This one is a hard find for all you T2 fans. I found the T2 Sarah Connor. Ooh, man. She is beautiful, my friend. Brett, you know what's up, Brett. You know, buddy. She's hard
Now
to
I
find.
know I'm right because he's giving that man the fucking Hottie of the Year award all of a sudden. No woman that you're dating would believe what you're saying about Linda Hamilton.
Talk about another woman that you can't call a scream queen, but she's in that category. She's a badass. Yeah,
Dude.
Badass.
This
RoboCop.
RoboCop, man. You guys got to check this Robo out, man.
I
it's
really-
the 35th.
I didn't even know all these were out there.
Is that a
I
Mexican?
really have to
Yes, sir.
fucking 86 Danielle
It's like
Harris in round
The
1.
35th or like 40th anniversary.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
fucking
God.
amazing.
Peter Weller could sign that.
Round 1.
Nice. The head sculpt on this one is better than the original one. Because the
That's
original one,
awesome.
his nose sticks out at the bottom. And this one, I've been looking in all the Targets here for the past 2 weeks, and I finally found it yesterday. and The Bride of Frankenstein.
Oh, you've been looking for those, bud.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah, man. But April O'Neil, look how beautiful she is. And this is for MB because that's her favorite movie is Young Frankenstein. So she
Good
loves,
woman. Great movie.
She loves Young Frankenstein. So these were my NECA hauls that I was so excited to share with you guys. So I'm glad I was able to get back and show y'all. I got some other stuff, but I won't waste any more.
What's your 5 posters?
Oh my God! Now
you do
we're
that?
talking about we're just talking about movies, right? Like
U.S.
movies.
horror movie posters. U.S. horror
yeah.
movie posters.
Covers,
Oh my
whatever you want.
God.
Yeah.
God damn it! I didn't do the homework on those, but I can go off the top of my head just thinking about them.
We can do our rundown if you wanted us to. If that helps you. I don't know.
Yeah, have y'all done that yet?
I can give you my five to number 1 was Halloween, the original, The Evil Dead, 1979,
Okay,
Halloween 4.
nice.
My number 2 was Jaws,
Oh yeah.
and number 1, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh man. Well, I gotta go based on ones that I have hanging because I only put up what I like. I love the Chucky 2 where he's sitting behind with the scissors, and he's
Oh,
got
yeah.
the head and because Chucky Child's Play 2 is like one of my favorite movies ever.
Ari
It's really-
Jack Chucky's back, right?
Oh, that's right, brother. That's amazing. That's amazing. Joe, blink twice if you need mental help. Joe.
You
Yeah,
got some fingers
I'm
out.
being coerced. I'm being coerced into saying certain things. I don't mean it, guys. Okay, I got one. Night of the Living Dead.
Ooh, good
Okay.
choice. Yes, that was on my
Yes.
short list. That's
The
because I love
original,
that movie.
the OG one, the OG.
Yeah, the OG.
Another list, of course, you can do the one from Tom Savini, the '90s one. That one's cool. What's another one? I got. Okay, what you can't see. I can't pick. Okay, we're talking about Heather Langenkamp. So, Dream Warriors Part 3 is one of my
Nice.
favorite posters,
Good
man.
one.
Like
Great poster.
because I love it so much. I have a hat of it. So I love Dream Warriors, man. The poster is just amazing. It's fucking amazing. Let me see that. So that's 3. Let's do some. What's the one, fellas? I can't think of the movie. It left me for. It's where the girl and then there's a skull coming out of her mouth and she's like this. It's like
Oh yeah. Oh. God.
I can't remember the name of the movie off the top of my head, but
Yeah. Why am I drawing a blank on that?
I remember growing up going to get VHSs and renting them, and that always being like she had her mouth like this, nice red
Yes.
lipstick, and there was like a skull coming out of her mouth.
Dead Alive?
Yes,
Dead Alive.
there it
yes.
is.
Okay.
There it is. Dead Alive. There it is. There you go. Good man,
Peter
Good
Jackson, man. One of my faves.
dude. That poster is just it's amazing. Give me stupid. All right. Last but not least, off the top of my head.
Michael and I had Halloween 4 as our number 1 together.
As your number 1.
Yep.
I'm going just based off ones that I just don't want to be too obvious about, but one that it was brought to my attention because of what's going on at Halloween Horror Nights, right? Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh, good Lord. Wow.
Yes. The colors and the spelling of the letters and I love that movie. Love that movie. It's corny as fuck, but it's a great poster, by the way. Great poster.
Hey, we were talking about Shocker, right, Patrick? We were going to talk about Shocker.
Yeah, we're going to do a review of Shocker next week. Well, next week is going to be kind of up in the air depending on what kind of format we can have because next week we're going to have Sean Clark on.
Yeah.
Shocker, isn't that a Wes Craven? No.
Yep.
That's Wes Craven.
Yeah, you
Is
got
that
it.
Wes? Yeah, it is Wes Craven, right?
Yep.
But
It is.
everybody watch it because he might even jump in on because he loves stuff like that. So I'm sure he can give us a review by all means.
Joe, did you see what's going on in the world these days?
Depends on what that means, my friend. Coors Light.
Oh, yeah.
What do you is that for me?
That's for me.
No.
I am celebrating 4 years of sobriety this evening.
That looks pretty cold and good. Delicious.
Silver Bullet, baby.
I need a drink, man. I haven't had a fucking drink today, man. I'm hurting for one.
I asked
think
you if you
that's-
wanted one when you came by the shop earlier today and told us about Danielle Harris being your vote.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, if you're going to be on a little bit later, let me know here. I got to get the kids.
Hey, man. Thank you for hanging on, man. I'm sorry I was so late, brother. I missed you guys.
F13. You down?
We'll talk, okay?
We got to
All
play
right,
soon.
All right, Brady. Take
Later,
care.
man.
Go run. I know you got to get the kids to bed.
Love
man.
the
Go
hat, bro.
run.
Love the hat.
Thanks, bud.
Later.
All right, now that Brett Patrick is gone, tell the truth, Joe. It's Danielle Harris, right? Be honest.
When you're doing the two verses,
Yeah.
Heather Langenkamp is a beast, bro.
It's not fair, though.
She was like Macaulay Culkin before
I know,
Macaulay
but it's not
Culkin.
fair.
She was like
Jamie Lee
good analogy.
Curtis of Nightmare on Elm Street. It's not a fair lineup.
bro.
But
She
Danielle Harris has done so much more for her fans.
I know, but when you look at the character,
That's what I based it on. I wasn't basing it on the person.
Yeah, the character. You have to say her because
That's what I'm saying. It's not fair.
And plus, Danielle Harris, bless her, she was fantastic. But the character itself did not have as much meat on it as the Langenkamp's character.
Can you see it from where I'm coming from? Like, since the day we've met, like, you didn't go a half hour from the minute we met without bringing up your love for Danielle Harris and showing me your tattoo on your arm and pointing out all the Danielle Harris stuff in my shop. Imagine a world where I am sitting here defending Danielle Harris to Joe Moody. What motherfucker is going on?
Do you want to know? I think I have an answer to why that is. I think I give you an exclusive, my friend. Okay, up until recently, I had never met her. Never. I was pining for her. I just had nothing but love for her and a big fan. Whatnot. It's kind of true what they say. Never meet your heroes, right? Or never meet somebody that. Because when I met her, my perspective of her and my opinion of her changed based on our face-to-face encounter.
Really?
And yeah, man. And the fact that I paid VIP to do the whole talk scary to me and all that stuff, it didn't live up to my expectations.
Like 5, Michael.
I think a lot of the feelings and everything are based on old shit that's been done. I was really disappointed and let down with a lot of that stuff, man. The pricing of her signature, like stupid price, man. Her signature $80, bro. $80.
That's how much Heather Langenkamp was in fucking Frightmares too.
Yeah, but again, when I'm looking at tiers, Heather Langenkamp is a higher tier.
You're gonna be looking at tiers.
Danielle's $80. That's a
Danielle
combo.
went up to $80 now.
That's a combo, bro. That's a combo.
When I met her 2-3 years ago, it was like $40 or something.
It's all about money now, man. She's doing every kind.
Wow.
She's coming in here. She's gonna be here, right, Michael? She's coming. She's gonna be here sometime.
She's gonna be here in San Antonio specifically with us. At the Wonderland Mall on October 15th and 16th.
In less than a month.
And I was just realizing how fun it's going to be to show her how much I care about her by playing her this podcast when I see her.
But this is I'm not dogging her. I'm just saying I love her to death.
Nah,
but when it comes
you're
to
not
Heather,
dogging her.
When it
you
comes
just
to Heather
that one
Langenkamp,
chick over her that didn't do shit in the last 30 years. I get it.
But that says something about the character, though.
That's the character, not the person. We weren't saying it was Nancy versus Jamie. It was Danielle versus fucking Heather.
As a Scream, you have to look at what they did in the movies.
Joe, you do know I love you, right? That's important.
Love you, man.
I love you, man.
You're my pal, bro.
I'm sorry, Fredo. You broke my heart.
Bro.
Fredo, you broke my heart.
You broke my heart, Fredo.
Fredo, you're my brother. You never go against the family, ever.
But you know what? Maybe this is strictly for shock value. Maybe I'm being coerced. Maybe I've put a little bit too much cheese on the
hamburgers
in the maybe
that makes too much sense.
You need to take it easy on this.
Now that makes sense. You were telling me earlier how she emailed you and was offering bank account numbers and shit. That makes perfect sense.
So full of crap.
Now I get it. Okay.
So boys, for next week, let's do the shocker thing. What's a good thing that we can get Sean involved in? Because he likes that stuff. He'd get a kick out of doing like a top 5.
Top 5.
Like a top 5 of what?
Halloween movies ranked. And we just did it last week, but we need to review our top 5 and bring him in on his top 5.
Yeah, we could do that.
To me. I would like
Shocker,
to hear
because I know he'll definitely be all over Shocker. I know he'd be into that.
We got to
think we should
incorporate
get him
something.
involved with his top 5 Halloween movies. I would love to hear that.
Yeah, and he's big into collecting, so maybe we can have some collecting questions, something that
So
his
top five.
five
His
is-
what is his top 5 Halloween collectibles in his collection?
Yeah, you can, because he's
Lord
he's one of
knows
the
he's
world's-
got screen use shit.
He's
I mean, he's
one
got
of the-
unbelievable shit.
He's one of the world's best collectors in the world.
Easy.
I mean, top. So to have him to be on this format and for this group is amazing.
We should ask him if it's Danielle Harris or I'm going to. It doesn't
Hey,
matter
she's
if we plan it or not. I'm going
she's
to
a
ask
client.
him Danielle Harris or Heather Langenkamp.
Yeah, she's a client of his. They both are, aren't they?
They
I think
both
they
are. I
both
believe.
They
No,
both are.
Danielle Harris isn't. I don't think she is anymore.
I think she is. I think I
She's
saw her on the
everybody's
webpage.
client.
Yeah, I think
she
she's on the
works with
webpage.
anyone. She is a total crowd pleaser.
Well, there you go.
Did you
See,
know-
see?
Did you
See?
know that she offered for a little nominal fee to appear at the Paper Tiger on October 18th and do the Malicide track live on stage?
Really?
Yeah.
Is she gonna
Isn't
do
she
it?
amazing?
Is she gonna do it?
I
Depends on the nominal fee.
Yeah, I
it
know,
depends.
bro.
Well,
Why's it gotta be
the
like
nominal
that?
fee is a decent amount, but it depends on whether it hails between now and a month.
And you can hire her.
No, I still have mad love for her, nothing but love, no disrespect. And
Oh, big time.
you know,
I love
I'll
you.
still
I love her.
I'll still be a dum dum and pay whatever it to takes to see her and get her a selfie and all that stuff.
I love her.
But she loses when it comes to going up against Heather Langenkamp. Plain and
Yeah,
simple.
but that was understood. That was definitely understood from the beginning. I get that, but it was to me, it was Daniel. According to the rules, it was Danielle Harris versus Heather Langenkamp, not Nancy versus Jamie.
Sure, but
If
let's
was
put it this way.
Nancy versus Jamie, I think you're right. I'll be honest.
Let's try this. What if we put Jan? What if we put her up against who do we have last week? Jennifer Love Hewitt. So yeah.
Well, we're gonna have what we can do. We're gonna do like a bracket. Then we'll have a face off, and then we can have the ones that didn't win face off.
I wish Brett was here, but we don't have to do a loser bracket. This is gonna be a minute. But we have 2 slots left that we have not defined.
You know, it's kind of
who's left.
So who's the next? Who can we do as the next screen?
You know who I
Queen
like?
Showdown.
I'm a Sigourney Weaver fan.
I'm there. Yeah, we've talked about Sigourney Weaver.
She's upper echelon too.
Who is the Al? Who's the blonde chick from the Scream movie that was in American Horror Story?
Blonde chick that was in the Scream movie from American Horror Story.
Who?
Oh.
Emma Roberts.
Oh, you
Emma
talking about
Roberts.
Eric
Roberts' daughter.
I would like to. What?
Yeah, that's
Eric Roberts.
Julia Roberts.
That's
niece.
Eric Roberts' daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy from Blood.
What
What is
do you
it?
fucking mean you don't know who Eric Roberts is? Wedding's
Best
off.
of the best.
Hey,
Best of the best.
Sorry, everybody who has an invite, the wedding's off. What do you mean you don't know who Eric Roberts is?
That's not to be joked
From
about.
Best of the Best?
That is not a joke.
This is not a joke.
She's a Scream queen.
I missed you, Pat. How was your time? Did you go? You said you.
She
went
was
out,
right there with Jamie.
I was off the
Camping?
grid all weekend. I was camping this weekend. We had a great time. We went to see Richie Kotzen last night. Awesome show.
Oh, it was a good show, man. That's great, man.
We're sitting in the theater watching Richie Kotzen live. I turn and I'm like, my wife's like, "What are you watching over there?" I'm like, "Any drugs over there?"
That's gnarly, dude.
That was
like, "Really?"
badass, my
that
friend.
was
I saw
tight,
you
dude.
were wearing a horror and pin shirt too.
And I was sporting the horror pin shirt. Yes.
It's fucking crazy.
It's so good to have good friends like you guys.
Yes, I was.
Can
Eddie
I
fucking
vote?
Drunk.
If everybody agrees that we got 2 slots
Super
left,
nice in person too. Absolutely gracious and super nice in person.
we
Metal
have 2
legend.
slots left for the final showdown before we go from there. I would like to put Emma Roberts in there. I think
Yes, I'd vote for that. Yeah, I'm a big American Horror Story fan. I loved her in it.
Emma Roberts.
Look, Brett Patrick has gone to plaid. He's now in the chat.
You know who
Brett,
doesn't get a
who,
lot of love as a Scream queen? The girl who was in all of the scary movies.
Anna
Pratt,
Paquin?
no. Pratt's ex-wife. the girl from a scary movie, Anna Faris.
Anna Faris from Mom.
Ferret. That's
Yeah,
the
Anna,
one.
that's right. I think she gets no love as a scream queen.
What do
Even
you
though her
think?
movies were kind of, cheese.
Yeah, but I want to listen, but at the same time, like you proved to us you're on drugs or something this evening with your vote earlier
Let's do
about
this.
Heather Langenkamp. So no offense, but we need a whiz quiz before you get to be.
Whiz quiz. I've never heard it referred to as that. Like,
Joe,
that's
you
funny.
love me. I love you,
That's-
bro.
that's
you
funny.
love me. Everything's
Yeah.
great, man. If it was,
I love
if it
you.
was
You love
always
me.
easy-
It's all good. That's funny.
What do you
He's
think,
screaming.
Brett? I think Emma Roberts would be great.
I think Emma
Who's
Roberts would
left?
be good. I'm all for that. I'm trying to think.
You can even do the girl who did the Underworld movies. What's her name? She was in all three of them. The Rise of the Lycans, and then another one. Can't remember her name. I mean,
April,
you can
who
kind
do you think of when you think of Scream Queens?
Shit, I'll keep going. Let's see who we're thinking of.
Oh my God, Weird Al.
What about I'm just looking through a list of names here, and one just popped
We
out
need
at me.
another.
And I mean,
Emma
popped out at me.
Roberts versus somebody in
Je-
Scream Queens.
Jessica Biel.
Jessica Biel from the
Nah,
Chainsaw movie.
that's too easy.
Yes. Yes.
That's
yes.
too easy. Jessica Biel did that one thing.
What? No. I like Jessica Biel. She was banging.
That's what he just said. Jessica Biel.
Yeah. Barbara Crampton.
Wait, who
yeah.
are you talking about?
Yeah.
She's been in a couple of movies.
We can.
Adrian.
Hey, wait! I got a good one.
Adrian King.
I got a good one. Hey, who's in the Rob Zombie's movies all the time?
Oh God, no.
Put her in there. She's
Al,
got
who do
she's
you
got
think
the
of when you
movies.
think of Scream Queens?
She
got
does.
The movies. She's got
She
the
does.
she's got the background.
Yeah,
Honestly,
my
you know what?
one.
I could make a case for her. I honestly could make a case for her because she was good in 31.
Yes.
Actually,
Yes.
Allison has a good point. We should do My Mother. Can we put her in? She was the Scream Queen. Trust me. Vera Farmiga.
We need to do a versus
That's
Sherry Moon
American
Do
zombie.
chick. That's the chick from
Or
the
Oh,
what
the
about
Conjuring. The Conjuring.
What do you say, Dan? You're the expert.
that's actually good. I like that because she was great in Bates Motel. I loved her in Bates
Who?
Motel.
Bates Motel's dope. That's right.
I say
Jen-
that. Want to do that? Let's do Vera Farmiga and Emma Roberts.
Yeah, we can do Jenna Ortega.
Shawnee
She's a good
Smith.
one. Shawnee Smith. That's right.
I think we should do Vera Farmiga.
I'm up for that.
She's
She's
the one from
beautiful.
Conjuring, right?
Yeah, and she was the mom in Bates Motel.
What do y'all think?
She was
Emma
the mom in
Roberts and Vera Farmiga?
that movie
Yeah.
Running Scared. You seen that
Yeah.
movie Running Scared?
Running
There's a hot-
scared.
Yeah, that's a hot sex scene on the washer and dryer with Paul Walker. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
I'm
Let's
up for
see.
that. So Vera Farmiga
Yeah.
and Emma Roberts, and then we're gonna do Shocker,
Oh yeah.
Shocker. Yay.
and we'll figure. And we'll do a top 5 with Sean Clark. Just his top 5 horror, Halloween.
Halloween,
Absolutely.
yeah. We want to know what his Halloween
We want to
choices
know.
are.
Inquiring minds
and-
want to know.
And possibly, and maybe we can organize. Each one of us can kind of come up with a question specifically for him. Like so,
yeah.
we
We'll
can
talk about it
each-
during the week. We'll try to get a good list of
Yeah. Just
stuff.
kinda
to talk to him
If you
about.
want, I'll ask the question for you because I know what you want to ask him. You want to ask him, did you watch the podcast last week? Can you tell me what was I thinking when
That's
I
what it is.
chose
That's
fucking
what it is.
Heather Langenkamp?
Hey, but you know what? I think he's gonna go 100% Heather Langenkamp too. Watch. I bet.
I think so too.
Oh,
man.
there's no way around it. I'm gonna ask him Danielle Harris or fucking Heather Langenkamp. There's no way around it because this will be the one thing I think of for the next. Who?
Jenna Ortega. She's hot as hell.
Jenna Ortega.
Jenna Ortega.
Okay.
She's
Yeah,
hot as hell.
And look, we gotta do Sigourney Weaver somehow.
Yeah,
some
but
way.
she's not.
I
Yes.
don't care.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Gotta get
Those
her
are
in there.
bigger.
Definitely.
Yeah, you do.
Sigourney
Yeah.
Weaver, you get her in there with.
Main
We'll
chick.
have to come up with somebody really good to go up against her.
Yeah, we can do like kind of like a sci-fi horror I can come up with a. I'll do some research to see who could be her equal.
Like Mila Jovovich.
Oh yes,
Her
the
daughter
Resident Evil
in
chick.
American Horror Story.
Oh yes, that's a great franchise too to go.
He was in The
Jeez, he's
Departed.
got a resume. Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Multipass.
Multipass.
I thought I
chicken,
knew what we would
chick,
compare
chick,
to
chicken.
until Joe said Heather Langenkamp
Love that movie.
over Daniel.
I'm probably
Harris.
gonna head out myself too because I got a few things to do myself. We cleaned
I
out the
gotta-
trailer from the week, and I got to get some stuff back in there before it gets too late because I'm sure my wife fell asleep.
Likewise, brother. I gotta head out too, man.
So
And you'll
we'll
have to-
reconvene next week. Everybody that's watching that stayed for all 2 hours and almost 45 minutes of this. And
Yeah.
they all stayed. They waited for Joe to show up. They waited for Joe.
Email me saying Mike rules and Daniel Harris should have won. Say any combination of those words, you get 50% off at Michael's Horror and Pinball this week.
Wow. Remember that. Remember
Jeez.
that, people.
That includes
And-
all the trick or treat, NECA, all the pre-orders, anything you want. Say Danielle Harris should have won. Email me that, and you get 50% off your next purchase.
Look at that. And come back next week when our special guest would be the one and only Sean Clark.
Hold on 1 second. I got to do something.
I'm gonna get
Oh, no.
Heather. I'm gonna start planning a Heather Langenkamp tattoo somewhere.
I hope you do, because that would make sense. Because at least then I would understand there's some how the world works. All right, ready? That is my PlayStation 4 tag. I need you guys that are ready to play F13 with me to befriend me so we can start playing Friday the 13th on the PlayStation.
Let me see the paper.
There you go.
Please. I love that game.
All right.
Awesome. All right, guys. So I'm going to head out. We will talk during the week. We'll get everything ready for next
I
week.
still love you. I pinky promise.
Love you
Everybody
too,
still
bro.
loves. And
I'm
Anybody
about
wants
to
to
call
chat?
your ass because I want to see where your head's at.
Yeah.
I'm about to call your ass when we get off of here.
Yeah, I'll call you because I
I'll
got
be over there tonight.
We got shit to talk about.
I'll have
Yeah,
a couple
I'll call
beers
you.
tonight. So if anybody wants to
I'll
give
give
me a
you a call.
shout out, I'll be around about
Sounds
a half
good,
hour or
man.
so.
All
After
right,
I
man.
clean everything up and get everything ready. And thanks everybody for watching. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you guys come back next week. It's going to be super cool. All right, boys. Talk to you later.
Cheers, bros.
Peace.
Love-